And we are here, so welcome everyone to game number 1, best of 9 series, Hera versus the Viper with Mayans and Mongols respectively. This is step, which means that it's going to be technically a nomad start map, where the players will have the resources to build a TC, but they start without a TC already built from the very beginning. They need to find a suitable spot. So Hera is sending the villagers over to the left-hand side to get the TC up, basically as soon as possible, and the Viper is going to go as well and try to get the TC up basically as soon as possible without really much consideration in regards to TC location or resource availability or anything. So basically they're just trying to get the TC up ASAP, not fall behind the villager count. If we take a look at the civilization, starting with Hera playing with Mayans over here, it's gonna get 1 extra villager, but 50 less food compared to other civilizations. Besides that, we see for Mayans 15% longer lasting resources, as well as 10, 20, and 30% cheaper upgrades. Or actually, sorry, cheaper archers in the field castle and Imperial Ages with the team bonus, then also cheaper walls. For Hera then, and taking a look at his TC location, we have a stone available right next to his TC over here. We have a gold on the back, which is great. And then the rest of the golds will be kind of exposed to the north and to the east over here. Both of these are going to be kind of forward. We'll see that Hera's actually going to start going for some militias, and he's going to try to rush. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Viper's map generation, it's got a goal in the back, which is great. And then the stones are going to be super forward. We're going to see the rest of the goals also be very side-ish over here as well. Shot it. There you are. Militias are coming around. Hera's got vision of the Viper's spool line. Taking a look at the Viper. Doesn't know about the militias yet. He's about to find out. He seems to be paying attention to this area, and here come the militias. Bow! Instant reveal, and the Viper's reaction though is amazing. But it's not going to be fast enough, as Hera had the horse over there, preventing the wolves from coming up. Now the Viper is going to end up getting a little bit of idle villager time over here. Not too much. At the very least, Hera's been unable to keep the HP of these units high enough to prevent the Viper from just taking the units down. So in the end, yeah, the Viper does end up chunking a lot of extra HP out of those militias, and I don't think he ended up getting too much idle TC time over, much idle villager time over here. Take a look at that. In the last minute, going down to 60% or so. It's not too terrible. If we take a look at the efficiency of these villagers for Hera, for instance, it's barely higher. Yeah, it's barely higher. It's just going to result in probably 20, 30 extra resources for Hera, which the Viper should be able to compensate by, well, the fact that he's not been going for militias himself, right? And he's already saved a lot of resources going out to the field age significantly earlier, for instance. And yeah, he's gotten already to the field age. There we go. Bow! So we see a stable on the way. No, an archer range. He's been collecting gold. On the left-hand side. I was gonna make a play for archers himself. We know this. There is no way for Mayans to go for anything else in the village that's going to be viable. You know, scouts and men-at-arms, of course, would die. 2 archers. So it's just going to be archers for both these guys and Hera. Hera's taking significantly longer to get to the village, so the Viper is looking pretty strong over here. Let's enable predictions for game number 1, guys. Who takes this one for the next 2 minutes? Because the game is already well underway. You're gonna have the possibility to predict Hera as option number 1 and the Viper as option number 2. 2 minutes only, starting now. Go, go, go! Feel it's gonna be here for Hera in a moment, but the Viper already has the first archer coming up. And Hera, I don't know if he saw the archer actually move forward. He might have seen it. But now he sees the archer move over here. Yeah, and the Viper cannot really do too much. He's just going to push the Lumberjacks away. And Hera should know about this. He should know that the archer is coming, so he should be expecting some pressure over here. It's gonna react instantly, basically, and he's got his archer range coming up. Now the Viper's going to realize about this. Unfortunately, he already moved the archer too far away for him to delay or potentially deny that archer range. But he will still do a little bit of damage over here by targeting the villagers. We already have looms, so Hera isn't likely to lose a villager at all, and he's got his own skirmisher on the way. Meanwhile, the Viper's on 4 archers right now. He's just gotten the 4th out, and he's gonna start going for skirmishers himself as well, which is good. Basically, he needed to go for archers until Hera got the archer range up, and then he needs to go for skirmishers because that's what Hera's going for. So that way, the Viper stays ahead in terms of military. He's got a stronger army with the potential, of course, to take villages down with archers, unlike Hera, who won't really be able to do too much damage with skirmishers whatsoever. The Viper probably losing the archer over there, though. Reacted a little bit too late, bringing the unit out, so the archer goes down, and that's going to be a nice kill for Hera. Meanwhile, the Viper's trying to group his army up. He's got the 3 archers remaining, trying to go over to the center, alongside the skirmishers coming up over here, and it's going to be 2 skirmishers for both these players, with 3 archers for the Viper and 1 archer for Hera. Although the bull player's got a militia, I'm not really sure what it is. And he wouldn't really be able to do much of anything. It's got only 1 HP. I guess he's gonna utilize it for scouting information, given that he just lost a scout. Or the horse. Around here somewhere earlier. I think probably over there. You can see a little bit of a smidge. A little bit of a spot over there, I think. Barely. Nice pressure from the Viper. Now he's getting, as we were expecting, to a similar amount of skirmishers. 4 skirmishers over here for the red player. Beautiful. Keeping Hera away from the goal and potentially forcing the blue player up to the north to collect from one of these golds. Wouldn't really be ideal for the Canadian over here. Meanwhile, the Viper's been looking great. Not only had a head start to the field age, but it seems like it's gonna be also the first player to click up to the castle age. If you take a look at the resources, Viper's so close to it, and here on the other hand, not so much. Militia's still in a sheep. Won't really make too much of a difference right now, of course, and the Viper keeps on pushing Hera away from the goal. Almost taking a villager down over there. He's gotta be careful. He's got only 2 archers left over here. So he wants to save those. They're gonna deal a lot of damage. All the skirmishers, he needs to use those for defensive purposes, of course. And now, guys, the Viper is gonna be on his way to the castle age in the next minute. And Hera, he's so far away, though. He is so far away. There we go. Hera's pushing the Viper over there, but the red player is already on his way to the castle age. Hera manages to keep on collecting gold from the bottom. Oh, and kind of found the trap over here against the Viper, and the Viper turns around and fights because he knows or suspects he won't be able to get out of here. Takes advantage of the fact that Hera split his army up to try and get a better trade over there. In the end, is able to get about 2 units down while losing 2 units himself, so it's not really going to be particularly good in the end. Here we go. Castle is on the way now. For the Viper as well. It's Hera But the red player is in a much better position. He's got Scale, Bard, and Armor coming up. He's got 2 stables already coming up. And he'll be in a good position to start going for Knights. Step Lancers, actually! Wow! On the way, right away. And here comes the Viper. Here we go. Taking on the skirmishes for sure, but unable to put too much pressure to do any damage forward. Guess it's gonna be here for Hera in a moment. The Viper so far looking much stronger, of course, with a Magno coming out. It's gonna be the one to start putting pressure. Defensive castle on the way for Hera. Beautiful reaction over here so far, though. The red player has been the one calling the shots. He's the one in the driver's seat while Hera's just been playing reactively. With the castle coming up and the second TC on the way as well, Hera will be in a world of pain. We see that. Oh! The step lance is coming in right away. This is one of the great things about these units, though. Even on a choke point, they'll be able to get so much damage out with a single group hit over there because they can attack from double lines. Well done. So he manages to get some villagers down over there. So far, the Viper is the only player who's managed to get villager kills with 7 nil eco KD. And the Viper's got a second TC coming up on the back. Hera already got this one up, still finds himself behind the work account compared to the Viper. The mana for the Viper's coming in, that's the second one for him as well. That TC might go down very soon. We have an Eagle Scout over here, but the Viper's got Step Lancers to defend himself with. And Hera's going for a counter attack over here. Seems to be about the only way where he'll be able to get a potential lead in the game. So far, the Viper has been in a much better spot. So if Hera can find some villages over here with these Pulm Archers, that's going to kind of compensate for it a little bit. Beautiful unit control over here for Hera. Might end up getting the manual down. He does! He does, and now eventually the Eagle Scout's going down, of course. Right hand side. Hera's roaming around. Beautiful. And the Viper keeps on putting pressure over here. So far, he's been unable to crack the defenses from Hera. Especially with the TC over here. Now the blue player kind of secures this gold. Finds himself in a good spot. Once again to start pushing the Viper back. Well, the red player is getting the third TC up only now, but Hera's already managed to get ahead in work account. In playing as Mayans, this is no small feat for Hera. There we go. There we are. Nice mango shot for the Viper. Hera gets pushed back over here. And so far, taking a look at gather economy time. The Viper has fallen behind in gather economy time compared to Hera. Despite the fact that he was looking so strong going after the castle age earlier, he doesn't really have too much to show for it. While Hera's just been playing defensive over here. It's been fairly uneventful in that regard. Like, the bull player's not been doing much other than just defending himself, but it's worked out pretty well. And the Viper, well, the Viper's already fallen behind the work account. He's starting to fall behind the military account as well, and this could be a world of trouble. Hera, if he's the first player to get to the Imperial Age, for instance, could make a play for Eagle Warriors, Elite Eagle Warriors. El Dorado. And the Viper wouldn't really have anything to fight against that, so long as he stays in the Castle Age himself as well. So Hera's having a stronger economy with a civilization that it's just so cost-effective as well, such as Mayans. This will put Hera in a very nice spot. So the Viper is kind of forced into pushing Hera out of the goal over here, ideally. And hopefully, if the Viper wants to still have a chance at this game, he wants to prevent Hera from getting access to any of these golds. So the Viper's been collecting stone, for instance, and if once he gets enough to go for a castle, he decides to go for a castle around this area, for instance, that should put him in a very good spot. We'll be able to secure these resources, deny them for Hera, and then all he's got to do is just keep on putting pressure over here, take the TC down, and that's going to be another gold out of the question for Hera. Here we are. Oh man, that's a lot of villagers trying to keep the gold safe, trying to take the mountains down, and a lot of villagers going down. The death parade will leave the Viper on a higher worker count than Hera. 521 KD for the blue player and the Viper. The Viper's got all three manuals still up. We'll still be able to push the TC down over here. We'll see. He's got to pay attention though, of course. He's got the outpost over here, which helps quite a bit, so he will notice the man is coming forward with enough time to react over here. So let's take a look. He's going to pull this one away. Try to shoot. He gonna do it. He's got to be careful. Good man shot over there for Hera. The Viper ends up losing a lot of HP on one of these. As we see the plumed archers over there get pushed into the TC, and the step lancers going underneath the TC. That's a lot of extra villagers going down. Only 2 manas left over here for the Viper to play with. Hera, he's got the mana over there to play with himself, but he's going to end up losing to the step lancers, and that is so close. But yes, the mana goes down as Hera runs out of defenses. He's going to be banking only on full archers over here. The Viper's paying attention, so he's got 2 manas left. He ended up losing a few, but going for a few more as well, and getting a good shot against plumed archers. And that TC is a gunner. The Viper's going for a forward castle, denying only 1 of the golds. But he realizes about the TC coming up in the north, so he's going to send some of the step lancers that direction to try and prevent the TC from coming up. Now, he won't be able to do it. There's a good amount of plumed archers over here that Hera should be able to utilize successfully to defend himself with. But the Viper, by getting the castle up over here, still going to put himself in a good spot as he is denying this gold, or at the very least he is kind of removing the defenses for that one. Denying this one for sure, but this one is still going to be left for grabs, and that it really surprises me that the Viper did not go for a castle in between both these goals. That would have been game ending basically. In the end though, he will still end up getting a very good trade over there, taking the majority of the plumed archers. Here we are. And as Hera's trying for dear life to get a castle up here. To protect that goal, he cannot do it! The Viper drops a foundation in between both these goals, and that is the game-ending castle that I was talking about, as Hera realizes he doesn't have a way back into this game. He is going to be the one to call the GG, and the Viper will be the one to take game number 1. You know, Step Lancers are a traditionally, what would you call it, neglected unit? Ignored unit. But this year, starting with World Rumble, the grand final with Dragonstar making use of Step Lancers as tatters, and getting the championship, now we see a lot of people taking the Step Lancers a lot more seriously. We saw Dragonstar do it himself as well, and I remember in the Red Bull World qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken, the last one that he played, people started noticing. I'm not really sure that's exactly where the Step Lancer play started from, but yeah, it's becoming a lot more popular these days, and it's great to see. Without any balance changes, players finding out, discovering new ways to play the game. 21 to 20 KD ratio for the Viper. We're going to see for economy, a stronger economy for the red player, collecting about 4,000 extra resources, which against Mayans is remarkable, especially with the worker count being higher for Hera for a longer period of the time. So there we go. Let's go back. And here we are, guys. Welcome, everyone, to game number 2 in the series. Hera versus the Viper in the blue and red colors, respectively. Fantastic. We're gonna pay the predictions off for game number 1 and enable predictions for game number 2. For the next 5 minutes, you have time to cast your predictions, right? Hera option 1, the Viper option 2. This is 4 lakes, so 5 minutes should suffice before we get too much action. On the right hand side towards the north, Hera playing with Bulgarians will get a very interesting civilization choice for a map like this, given the other civilizations he had available, right? So yeah, we have for Bulgarians, first off, access to Krepos. They're going to have free militia line upgrades, which means Minotaurs, Lone Swords, 200 Swordsmen are going to be researched for free, right? Instantly available. And we'll have for Bulgarians also a 50% stone discount on TCs, as well as a 50% food discount on on blacksmiths and siege workshop upgrades. For the team bonus, on the other hand, Bulgarians also get 80% faster work in blacksmiths. Meanwhile, the Viper civilization, Japanese over here, will give the Norwegian player 5, 10, 15 and 20% faster work in fishing ships in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages. Twice the HP and plus 2 Pierce Armor are going to round out the fishing ship bonuses over here for the Viper. Meanwhile, we'll see also for this civilization a 50% discount on drop-off buildings, which means some savings at the very beginning, and 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the Feudal Age onward. So it's a very interesting position where Hera's got a civilization that will have very strong infantry, especially if you go for something like Brigands in the Imperial Age, which gives them extra melee armor actually. But the Viper gets to champion, while Bulgarians only get to 200 swordsmen. The Viper gets, in addition to that, samurai, which are so strong, and the champions for them attack 33% faster. It's still very, very strong. And I'm actually curious, has anybody tried pitting champions from Japanese against 200 swordsmen from Bulgarians? I imagine there might be a Spirit of the Law video about it. But anyway, let's take a look at the map generation. Starting with Hera's side first. It's going to have the TC a little bit closer to one of... There we go. To one of the lakes. So it's a little bit more immediately available to him. That means that the other one is a little bit farther away. We have a back gold for Hera. The other gold is going to be kind of forward-ish, although it's fairly close to the TC, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. And then the stones are forward. These are not ideal, for sure, especially this one on the right-hand side is kind of close to the hill. But let's take a look, though. We have a villager over here potentially going down. Never mind. Loom just finished researching. The Viper was getting very close to taking the villager down. As soon as Loom kicks in, the Viper recognizes the situation and leaves over their bales. But yeah, that's going to be about it for the map generation for Hera. Meanwhile, the Viper's got a pretty similar situation over here with the secondary goal on the back, and then the main goal is going to be kind of exposed over here to the side, but it's fairly close to a TC, so it's not too bad. But the stones are also kind of exposed, so we have this one on the left-hand side, very far away, and this one forward, right next to the hill, very similar to what we saw for Hera. So I would say it's kind of comparable. The big difference over here, from what I can see, is the fact that Viper is a little bit closer to the middle of his side of the map, which means that it's not quite as, you know, easy for him to choose one of the pawns. So it's not going to be immediately obvious that one of the pawns is closer. So he does have to make a choice, and he ends up making the choice for the left-hand side one. Right-hand side, we have some sheep over here coming back to the Viper. Red players also send some militias for us, so we'll see. The game will win? I would figure so. Pretty similar to what we were discussing the other day with Teuton Knights, potentially Paladin against Frank Paladin, right? A little bit of extra HP for the Paladin, but the extra armor makes the Teuton unit so much more effective. I would imagine the extra armor over here would offset for faster attacking units. Perhaps. So yeah. Big shout out to MemTV for hosting this event, and to Microsoft for sponsoring the event and making it possible for us to enjoy these incredible games. It's been absolutely fantastic. 100%. So it's great. There we go. He's coming in. That house is not holding. So here come the Men-at-Arms. 33% faster attacking with a hill advantage over there. The house did not hold on. And as the defense is for Hera Butch, there is 2 villagers down, 3 villagers down. We're going to see another villager going down there. My lord. That was so close. If you're in Hera's position, unless you're paying attention 100% of the time of the house and seeing exactly how much HP it's losing and how much HP you're repairing it for, there is no way for you to know that it's going to go down, right? It kind of seems like it's being repaired just for as much as it's losing HP, but in the end, we saw the Viper take it down, come in and take 4 villagers down from Hera already, who's going to fall behind, of course. On the right-hand side, there is a dock over here for the Viper, who's scouting the shorelines and making sure that there are no enemy docks over here before potentially making a play for Navy, and in the end, it's just going to go for fisher ships. Meanwhile, Hera's going forward, and Hera, he knows where the Viper is. I think he was probably trying to fish for an exposed villager over there, but the Viper does not have a villager over there anymore. He's got pretty good defenses back home. On the back wood line, we're gonna have 2 spearmen over here, 3 spearmen as a matter of fact, about 4 archers. So it's great for the Viper, and so long as he pays attention, he should be in a good spot. And over here, he's already managed to get the houses up. So it doesn't seem like Hera will be able to do too much. Meanwhile, the Viper keeps on roaming around the back of Hera. Won't be able to find any damage over here. And we take a look at the left-hand side, and the Viper's going for a sneaky dog. So Hera realizes about this, or at the very least, he's got vision of it. Doesn't mean that he's necessarily realized about it. As we take a look at the dock over here from Hera, we notice he's not going for any Navy unit, so yeah, maybe he's not really paying attention too much over there, which is going to put the Viper in a very good spot now that the Viper got the dock up. He's got a fire galley on the way, and now Hera's going for a fire galley himself, but he waited too long. The Viper already got the dock up and already had the fire galley up by the time Hera realized and queued up his own unit. Castle is now on the way for the red player, which is just nothing but remarkable, while Hera on the other hand is so far away from it. And it will always seem a little bit of an awkward choice for Hera to make use of Bulgarians over here, right? But we'll see if he can make it work. Oh man, the Viper's just one tile too far from seeing this. Okay, there we go. Now the Viper should see this. Hera's got one fire galley and the Viper. Let's see how long it takes for him to realize about the dock. How long it takes for him to go for his own fire galley. He's going for more up in the north over here, but nothing on the left-hand side yet. Hera already has a fire galley. He's going for more. And now we'll see an exposed villager for the Viper finally go down over there. A little bit sloppy not to wall this up, but even if he had walled the villager up, he would have lost it to the skirmishers in the end. So now Viper realizes about the dock on the left-hand side after getting targeted already by a fire galley over here. Unfortunately for the Viper, his efficiencies are so freaking strong that he's going to survive for a while over here, and he's going to have some time to get some of the fire galleys out. But realistically, so long as Hera keeps on producing units, he should be the one on the lead on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, he managed to get a dock up over here that the Viper is not aware of. I don't think Hera is aware of the Viper's dock over here either. So in the end, it seems like the Viper might be able to come out on top up in the north. Will most likely not end up losing the left-hand side pond, and nobody's going to really contest the right-hand side one just yet. As the Viper gets to the castle age though, we were expecting this to be the case, that he's going to get there significantly earlier. He's got archers moving forward with the crossbow and Balkan arrows upgrades on the way. He's got also scale barred and armor that he just finished researching. And bloodlines, so he's gonna start adding some knights into the mix, and it's going to be knights and crossbows. Aw, guys, that is so sweet of you. Welcome, welcome back. I love you all guys as well. I love my community. You know, I wouldn't be able to do this, which is doing what I love, if it weren't because of you, so you know it. We have the war galley upgrade already for the Viper, so he can go for fire ships. We have the crossbows over here getting surrounded though by the scouts, by the skirmishers, and going down. Viper seems like he's probably going to end up getting control up in the north though in the end because of the war galley upgrade on the left hand side. He might be able to get water back over here. See the knight coming in for the Viper, and he's falling behind the working on quite a lot. Of course, about 6 of that's going to be due to him just researching the castle age and not producing villages from the PC instead. But I would say that's about it. We have fire ships over here. The Viper is not, though, in a position to win this fight in the end. Interesting. One demolition ship over there would have done so much damage, though, from the Viper against Hera, but now it's a big struggle. And the Viper's still going to end up losing the left-hand side pawn for sure. Meanwhile, up in the north, he's going to take this. That means that after taking the fishing ships down from Hera, he will be catching up and surpassing Hera in worker count. Now let's take a look if anyone's got vision of the other guy over here. Well, Hera does, and he starts going for a fire galley. Meanwhile, the Viper's got no idea. I like that he has taken the precautions on the right-hand side compared to up in the north of actually walling the villager. But now he's going to realize about... Yeah, he's going to realize about the dock over there. Brought the villager back to try and take the villager down over here from Hera, but it's going to end up losing his own villager in the end, so... Right-hand side, seems like it's going to go in favor of Hera. He's got 2 docks over here compared to only 1 from the Viper. Up in the north, the Viper does end up getting all the fishing ships and full pond control. And then on the left-hand side, the players kind of cancel each other out and nobody's going to have control of this one. So in the end, it's going to be about even, I would say. And we have the Knight coming over from the Viper straight into the wood line. Taking a lot of damage though, or some damage from the Spearman, but still takes 2 villagers down. That was a very, very nice unit control from the Viper. Ended up getting some Hera snipes on Hera's wood line. And as now the wood player is starting to go for some Knights himself, we'll see the Viper make a transition to Cavalry Archers. Got the 2nd and 3rd Archer ranges coming up, and this is good. The only thing that Bulgarians get that is going to give them any units that are better than fully upgraded is just gains for infantry units, which is not really going to do anything for their Pierce armor. So Cavalry Archer is going to be good against cavalry, is going to be good against infantry, is going to be good basically against everything. Here's bring some pressure, bring the heat up against the Viper. Meanwhile on the pawns, seems like the Viper is gonna be the one to get left hand side pawn control once again. He starts going for fishing ships. Now up in the north, he's got also pawn control over here, and then on the right hand side, he ended up getting pushed down. It was going to be just a matter of time, of course. We saw 2 attacks over there, so what to really expect, right? In any case, we have now it's skirmishers coming out for Hera, but the Viper, well, the Viper gets to a good amount of Cavalry Archers. Is not really going to care about the skirmishers, because the whole point of Cavalry Archers is having the mobility to roam around and put pressure and do damage as well. So even if we have counter units over here for Hera, as long as the Viper's paying attention to his own units, he should be able to roam around and stay away from the skirmishers' range and get some damage down, or really take some spearmen down. He's gonna keep on going for more. He's got 7 Cavalry Archers queued up, and the economy for the Viper is looking stronger as well. Japanese are a civilization to get fully upgraded Cavalry Archers, so you gotta keep that in mind. Here we go, the Viper's going back. It is open. He was utilizing the dock over there to stay close, but he can't really do too much. The skirmishers did make it there on time, and Hera, I'm pretty sure he knew. It's going back with all the Knights and the Viper. However, it's gonna continue going for Cavalry Archers. Once you get to 30 Cavalry Archers, that's going to be enough for you to take Knights down with a single group volley. Assuming that we have Chain Barded Armor for the Knights, and we have a Balking Arrow for the Cavalry Archers, and assuming a 100% accuracy, of course, which also requires Thumb Ring. Potentially ballistics if fighting against units in motion, which is likely going to be the case against Knights, right? They're not going to be just static around. 4 TC on the way for the Viper, and Hera's still on 1 TC only, plus the Viper's been going for fisher ships again. I think this is going to be for defensive purposes, though. I don't think you'll be able to actually afford going for quadruple TC production. Not by a long shot. And that TC comes down just in time as the Viper keeps all the units alive. Hera gets pushed back. We have 26 Cavalry Archers for the Viper. Getting very close to the 30 magic number I was talking about earlier. Ideally, he wants to get ballistics and he wants to get Thumb Ring. We talked about this before. He needs accuracy. He's going for the university right now. While he waits for it, Thumb Ring would actually be very much appreciated. With only 50% accuracy, these guys, even against static units, won't be particularly effective. Why 30? That is the magic number with which the Viper's units are able to one-shot Knights. These guys are going to deal 4 damage per shot against fully upgraded Knights. At 120 HP, it takes 30 shots for a Knight to get taken down. So you get the 30, you can one-shot the Knights. you get past 15, and that's already enough for you to two-shot the guys as well. And because the cavalry archers are quite mobile themselves, anything past 50 is already quite effective against knights, so long as you're paying attention. But if you get to 30 or more than 30, it becomes almost impossible for Hera to really engage against cavalry archers. Krepos coming up now for Hera and the Viper. Viper's cannon ballistics. Still no. Clambering, of course. Here we are. Hera's bringing the units over. How many do we have? We have 28 over here. That is a number to respect, my man. And to be honest, I think this might be enough for him to deny the castle, because the skirmishers, they are very small in numbers. We have a very small amount of skirmishers over there, and these knights are not enough to take an engagement. The Viper's reaction over here is instant. We're gonna see a castle coming up over here. The replayer won't be able to do it though, but he should be able to clean these units out for the most part, even if the Krepos is coming up. In the end, Viper will be kind of pushed away from 1 TC only at most. And it doesn't seem like it's even going to be the case, as now he'll be able to relocate the castle foundation over here. He was able to fend off the units from Hera. And once again, take a look at that. He's gone down from 28 to 26 cavalry archers over here. And Hera, well, Hera cannot take the engagement. Many of these units are very low HP. 19 knights over here wouldn't be too difficult for the Viper to take down. And the Krepos comes up over here, but the castle, of course, is going to be much higher HP, is going to take this one down without too many issues. And the Viper still enjoys a much stronger economy with 32 actually, 30 right now, 30 extra eco units. And he has been going for fishing ships. On the left-hand side, up in the north, the Ponce-T's got control over. Down the south, not yet, but he could very well go for it. He's got a dock over there, meanwhile on the right-hand side. Hera's not really being able to keep up, of course, with fishing ship count. Very good position over there for the Viper. Hera does not want to chase the cavalry archers into a choke point. So a lot of knights go down over here. Absolutely fantastic. Snake has thumb ring. He didn't have it a minute ago. He doesn't have it yet. There's another Krepos coming out for Hera. And the skirmishers over here, the skirmishers are starting to get to dangerous numbers, which is why the Viper is starting to go for Magnus now to try and counter that. Could potentially make a play for cavalry if you wanted to as well. Japanese in the castle age, they're going to be just as good as any other civilization with access to ball lines like cavalry, Chimbarden armor, and iron casting. They can go for whatever they want to the castle age. Just in the Imperial age that they do not scale quite as nicely, as they do not get Hussar and they don't get plate Barden armor. But we could potentially have something like cavalry over here. Just the Viper has been prioritizing villager production instead, and he could make a play for you know, like cavalry after he's done setting up his economy, which shouldn't be too long from now. He's already getting to 120 vills, only about 10 or 15 away from getting to his max villager count. You see the cavalry archers coming out right now. He's got into 30. He's got more on the way. He's trying. Notice how he's trying to bait the skirmishers to the front of the army, so he can make use of the Manuel. He's gonna try to go for a shot over there. He's kind of blocking the Manuel himself, and Hera knows exactly what's up. Another cast is on the way for the Viper. This one is going to protect the gold. He's about to run out of this one that he had in the back, so it's necessary for him to try and secure the one on the right-hand side. There's only about 800 gold left over there, so he needs to secure this one, and he's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age as well. Hera, not even close, guys. Not even close. Not for gold, not for food. And we'll see the castle coming up over there. The map is protected by a huge cavalry archer meat shield, and now We see the skirmishers over there. Stay alive. Very good unit control for Hera. And this is what I was talking about. The Viper secures the gold over there. Ends up pushing Hera away. Ended up losing the majority of the cavalry archers though. Going down from 30 down to only 11. And now 7 even. But he will end up taking the knights down over here from Hera. And in the end, it's going to be kind of uneven KD for the guys. And Hera does end up getting ahead, actually. Managed to get some village down over here. A little bit of a stronger eco KD for Hera. Blue player is going for the 4th DC. Meanwhile, the Viper needs to take advantage of the Imperial Age. Once he gets there, to go for heavy cavalry archer. To go for Parthian tactics, of course. And whatnot. We'll see that Krepos going down. Beautiful. And this one on the right hand side, of course, is going to go down eventually as well. It doesn't really take too long. Still very much behind. The Bull player is definitely in a world of pain here. The Viper's getting a 40C up on the right hand side, and he still has a good amount of cavalry archers. He needs to keep on going for more though, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna stick to the CA play though. Instead, we'll see like cavalry coming up. It's got Town Watch. Panther Archer armor. Squires on the way as well. Squires! Bunch of barracks coming up. No, yeah, bunch of barracks coming up in archer ranges. Hold on, so what is this going to be? Arbalisters and champions? Cavalry archers and champions? He's not going for cavalry archers anymore. He's got the crossman upgrade, but he's not going for any. Yeah, he's not going. It's going to be hand cannoneer. It's going to be hand cannoneer to fight against the possibility of again infantry from Hera. I guess that makes sense with champions. He's going for the pikeman upgrade though. Halberdier, and hand cannoneer. He doesn't get bombard cannons, so he's gonna have to go for trebuchets. Trebuchets, skirmishers. Yeah, kind of really quiet. Put my finger in exactly what is the Viper is going to go for. A few things do make sense. So there's champions and hand cannoneer. Halberdier and hand cannoneer also makes sense for the possibility of cavalry from Hera, but he's going for skirmishers. Skirmishers and halberdier. Okay. I don't think we're gonna see anything ranged coming out from Bulgarians. Their range units are pretty lackluster. We get only skirmishers basically. They do not even get crossbowmen. They're kind of on the same boat as Spanish in the sense they do not even get the crossman upgrade, so just going to be skirmishers for the bull player and cavalry. So the Viper goes for skirmishers and halberdier. I want to see samurai. I would love to see samurai too, especially because the Viper already has 2 castles. Production should be pretty decent. Nice shots over there from Hera. Now the Viper's getting to the back of Hera's economy with some cavalry archers, and the players going up to the Imperial Age. Right now, population is neck and neck. The Viper, of course, already with Bracer. With other archer armor on the way, and with trebuchets out, should be the one in a much better position. He's not paying too much attention over here, though. He's gotta be careful. He ends up losing the majority of the cavalry archers. But after taking the cripples down, he's finally gonna find position to start pushing. Hera back. Fourth castle on the way now for the Viper as well. 3rd castle on the way. Meanwhile, there's only 1 castle coming out for Hera. Oh, they're sharing the stone like brothers. Not for long. Skirmishes are here. Knights. Cavalry archers. There we go, the castle's coming out, the trebuchets are moving forward. We see extra barracks and extra archer ranges coming out, so it's just halberdier and skirmishers. You know, it's not bad. We have our ballistas now on the way for the Viper, but yeah, it's not bad in the sense that they do get fully upgraded trash with all the upgrades for skirmishers, all the upgrades for halberdier. They do not get hussar, of course, so in the cavalry department they are not in a good position, but with halberdier it should be good anyway. And the extra armor is pretty good for Hera, so if he was the one going for Halberdier himself, it would actually kind of out-trade the Viper. For which we could see Hand Cannoneer for the Viper as well, but not something that he's thinking of going for the time being. At the very least though, he's got already the infrastructure that he needs. How many archer ranges do we have for the red player? He's got 7, right? And he already has research chemistry, so it's just a click away if he needs to go for it. For the time being, it's going to be Samurai, but looks of it, guys. Get hyped, you wanted to see it? And the Viper is going to deliver. Up in the north, sharing gold over here as well. The Viper gets pushed away. He needs to secure the gold somewhere, because up in the north, he doesn't have access to this anymore. And then this one is going to run out eventually, although he's not collecting from it. Where is he collecting from? He's collecting from the right-hand side. Cast is coming up on the left-hand side. Oh, this is good. This is a beautiful gold for the Viper. What is the situation for Hera? He's got this gold available that he's going to start collecting from now. He's got control of this one up in the north as well, so it's good. It seems like the players have control of the golds that kind of belong to each other. Right, if you are to split the map into 2 halves, then that's what we expect, right? For the players to have control of the respective half golds. But yeah, I would like for the Viper to go for at the very least 1 war galley, man. He would just push Hera away from here so easily. He's bringing the fire ships back. Like, honestly, this is not really going to do much of anything. Just a one war galley. 1 war galley already has enough range to push the villagers away from gold. He's not going for it. Viper's taking the buildings down from Hera. So far, not really achieving too much with these, though, mind you. And let me try and find an infantry unit from here. He doesn't really have anything right now, so I don't think he's gone for gains. It wouldn't make sense for him to go for it if he doesn't have any units to take advantage of it. Cavalier on the way for Hera, though. And the Viper really has a good amount of Halberdier, but we know how deadly Hera is with cavalry in late game situations. We'll see if the Viper will be able to keep up. Here we are. Church is moving forward. Taking the Sable down. Down the south. We have Hussar coming in already from Hera. Cavalier in. Hussar starting to get the rates going. The Viper is not realizing about this at all. There's a huge amount of villages exposed over here. And Hera seems like he's going to end up getting all the units down. The Viper is not... Oh my lord, he reacts so late to it. These units managed to get 25 villagers down. As Hera has stirrups. Oh yeah, that is a very, very strong upgrade for Hera to get. Let me check to see if he's got it already. He does not have stirrups. He does not have gains. So he is not really able to take advantage of his unique upgrades yet. Meanwhile, the Viper's going on the back of Hera's base with Halberdier. Now, the Viper's skirmishes are getting cleaned up on the left-hand side. He's been playing with Samurai. He's making a play for Samurai over here. He's got a good amount already. 34. It's not bad. He's defending the trebuchets over here. He's got Halberdier and Samurai as well. Some Arbalistas mixed into the army. Even if he ended up losing a lot of units down the south, the Viper's still in a very strong economy. 119 villages. Meanwhile, with the churches over here, it's going to end up taking the Krepos down and... You know, striping Hera away from his defenses, his fortifications, and there is a very ballsy castle coming up for the Viper forward. He's got Halberdier to defend himself with over here. He's going to try to go for the castle on the right-hand side instead. Relocates the foundation. And Hera cannot do too much over here. He's hurting right now. 170 population for Hera. The Viper's kind of locked at 200 population with a lot of units queued up and coming up at all times. He will end up completely obliterating Hera's defense over there. That was not even close to Samurai. They are shredding The grinder over here moves over from the Viper to take the castle down next. And if this castle crumbles, guys, I don't think there are any fortifications left for Hera to defend himself with, right? We have one measly Krepos in the middle of nowhere down the south, and then the rest of his economy is completely exposed. So the castle goes down, and Hera does not really have any defense anymore, guys. As the Wolf players drop in further and further in population, down to 120 or so, we're expecting to see the end of the game not too long from now, as Hera's most likely not going to call the GG as soon as the castle crumbles, if not earlier. The Viper gets game number 2 to get a 2-0 lead in the series against Hera. And my lord, is the Snake in good shape. Very nice KD for Hera in the end. Did it matter? Probably not. Cost effectiveness of the trades was favoring the Viper for the most part towards the end. Plus, a much stronger economy means that the Viper had about 16,000 extra resources. Actually, more like 15,400 extra resources to play with compared to Hera. Which, of course, is going to get him so much farther, right? It's going to allow him to go for so many extra units. So it doesn't matter if he does not get the best KD ratio, the Viper still finds himself in a very good spot. So game number 2 goes in favor of the Snake. We'll go back and wait for game number 3. So there we are, guys. Welcome everyone then to game number 3 in this best of 9 series between the Viper and Hera. So far, the Viper looking very strong. 2-0 against the Canadian. Not a good day to be rooting for Canada, it seems, unfortunately, but let's take a look at the civilizations first, because I gotta be honest, I am liking Hera's civilization over here a little bit better. We'll see. Starting with Hera's first, then, he's gonna get with Koreans 3 extra line of sight on villagers, as well as 20% faster working stone miners. They have free archer armor upgrades, as well as free tower upgrades. 20% would discount the military units except for siege weapons, and for the team bonus, their Magna line weapons get only 1 minimum range, compared to other civilizations. Up in the north for the Viper, playing with Berbers, we're gonna see for the red player, 10% faster moving villagers and ships. We have for Berbers also 15 and 20% cheaper cavalry units starting in the castle age and extending over to the imperial age respectively from stables. So stable units actually, not just cavalry units. And then for the team bonus, we'll see the Berbers also have access to Genitor. And that'll be about it. How was the celebration yesterday? I don't know. I didn't celebrate. But there's a lot of people, at the very least. You know, I live in an apartment building. So I have a bunch of neighbors. And everyone was partying yesterday at night. You know, singing and playing guitar and just having people over and having a good time. I just went to bed early because I needed to cast this, but yeah, and also not the biggest football fan, but yeah, I didn't really celebrate myself. But I think a lot of people actually were out celebrating. And this is just in my apartment building, I would imagine. Oh, actually around the neighborhood, you could hear also people playing music and stuff late into the night. And especially because it was Saturday, right? So it was great. And then I would imagine a lot of people would probably go downtown to bars, perhaps pubs, clubs, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not the one to want to do that too much. I'm more of an indoors kind of guy. Wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. You could snag some free beers. I don't like alcohol, man. I'm sorry. So I know I'm making it very difficult for anybody to relate to me right now. But believe me, we have a lot of stuff in common, just not the partying stuff. No alcohol for me, no partying. I do have my night side, of course. I'm a musician after all. But yeah. Non-alcoholic beer? I don't think I tried before. But it's quite bitter, so it's not something that I am... you know, when I was a teen, when I was in my early teens, I tried beer for the first time. I tried beer for the first time. It was super bitter, and I did not like it. So I don't drink it. I never had it again. I think a lot of people... I'm not really sure who tries beer for the first time and likes it, actually. I think a lot of people actually have to acquire the taste. They have to kind of force themselves to drink it until they you know, begin to like it. But I never did that, so... Even if I'm in my 30s right now, I still don't like it. Like, I can have it, I can swallow it, but it's not something that I choose to drink. If you ever try alcohol, try Belgian White. It isn't that great, to be fair. Yeah, probably. Hey, Dancer. Personally, I've always liked beer from my first taste. That is great. I think I might know a few people who did enjoy beer from the very beginning, or alcohol in general for some other drinks, right? But it was just not my cup of tea. I think I know some people who also like smoking from the very first cigarette. I tried smoking as well, didn't like it, so I didn't try it anymore. Same story with beer. Thankfully, I'm still able to drink responsibly. That's the important thing, man. So long as you're able to, you know, to do it responsibly, it's cool. You know, just do whatever you're happy with. I have gym once in 2 or 3 months and only socially. Yeah. Yeah, you do you guys. If you want to drink every day, feel more than free to do so, of course. Nobody's gonna be able to tell you anything, right? It's your choices. So long as you do it responsibly, it's fine. I know people who drink every day and they're still pretty cool and everything, so it's cool. Left hand side. Here it's gonna start putting some pressure. The Viper seems like he's gonna be the first player to go up to the castle edge, though. At the very least, he's getting closer. Up in the north, Viper's just playing defensive over here, banking on the defense advantage to catch up in numbers compared to Hera. And if you take a look at the uptime, Hera did go up significantly earlier, about 48 seconds faster. So of course it's gonna be the one putting pressure over here, but the Viper, so long as he pays attention and he plays the defender's advantage, he should be able to hold on over here just fine. I get you, I didn't drink till I was 25. Yeah, and it's cool, you know, it's... I don't judge. There we are. In the end, Hera ends up getting cleaned up over here. Better KD for the Viper. On the back, you're gonna see the extra units arriving from Hera, the Viper. He spots the galleys, kind of trips himself with some of the fishing ships over here, but he should be able to defend against this quite successfully. He's bringing the standard galleys that he had before sending these forward any further, and should be able to clean Hera's units up. And Hera, why would he stick over here to try and fight the Viper off? Especially to get him past the first dock over here. Now the Viper's going to get another galley out very soon, and Hera seems like he's probably going to end up getting cleaned up over here more likely than not, or at the very least losing some of the units. One galley is going to be left on very little HP as Hera's bringing a few extra galleys over here. The Viper still got 5 galleys over here. And Hera will be able to save the weak one, but for the time being, the Viper's looking stronger. He's got almost enough resources to go up to the castle edge as well. On the left-hand side, Viper's bringing the units back, and Hera's just bringing his own units back over here. He can really keep on pushing on both sides. It's been pretty difficult for him to get anything done, to have anything to show for his early aggression. For his earlier uptime as well. I read about beer and wine. Fermented drinks has so much addition to decay longer, especially says whiskey, vodka, etc. better. Perhaps, maybe. I wouldn't know. I did have I did have vodka once. It was awful. To be fair, it was like a 2-box bottle. But I just wanted to experiment getting drunk. So I just poured myself a full glass of pure vodka, about probably like 300 milliliters or something. And I just downed it. You know? Bottomed it and in like 10 seconds or so. And I just powered through it. It tasted awful, it burned like hell, but I just powered through it. Never doing that again. I don't remember anything that happened the next 20 hours, and I have some videos, very, very embarrassing videos about it, so never doing it again. There we go. Castell's on the way now for Hera as well. Enough boost talk, guys. Don't get me distracted. I'm going to get demonetized. To be fair, I cannot monetize on YouTube yet until I get 1,000 subs, but when I do, and if this video, you know, pops off, it's going to get demonetized. Regardless, the Viper is not only getting the better trades on water so far for the most part, but it's going to be the only player also transporting units over to the center. He's got 2 villages over here going for a monastery. He needs to bring these galleys back so that he can catch up in a military count against Hera, but Hera's looking stronger over here. The Viper is still going to have the war galley upgrade earlier though. That is why we see Hera trying to get the best engagement he can before the Viper gets the upgrade, because he knows he's going to be completely overpowered rather, by the war galleys. And here they come. The Viper's got it. Ideally he wants to get ballistics at some point, but right now his economy is stretched thin. But it's still going to be strong enough for him to push Hera away. It sounds like the worst idea ever, but I appreciate the effort. What, a single shot of vodka with some coke, or my idea of just downing pure vodka in large quantities in a very short time period. I can vouch that was not a good idea. That was not a good idea. Anyway. Second TC's coming out now for the Viper. Hey, maybe I'll show you sometime that video. It's actually quite fun. So far, Hera's been able to hold on to his own units as well, the Viper. He's outnumbered. Hera's going pretty heavily into Navy. He's got quadruple dock production. And the Viper's got 3 docks over here, so he won't be able to catch up. Or to keep up, rather. He won't be able to keep up in Navy production, so it's gonna be better for the Viper to just try and make a play for the center over here. And this is something very similar to what we saw yesterday as well. One of the games on migration where one of the players would end up getting full water control, right? But then without getting access to the center, it was not strong enough, so the Viper transporting extra villagers over to the center, which I like. It's better for the Viper to try and keep the majority of his economy going at the center, as opposed to keeping a bunch of villagers in the back over here. How much so? So much that I would really like for the Viper to just get a second TC up at the center and delete this one, and do not go for any more villages over here. It's gonna run out of stone and gold eventually, and actually this stone, it will get pushed away by the war galleys. So I think just sticking to farms, perhaps. Just collect the gold, and then eventually once he runs out of it, just go for farms, and then do not keep on going for villages from here. Just try to keep on going for villages at the center where the majority of the resources will be, and where he'll need to get control, map control, in order to win this game. Hera, it's taking too long. And yesterday in the interview, Hera said, I took too long to get to the center, and today he's doing it again. The Viper's gonna punish him for it. His transfer ship might go down now that Hera's spotting it. There we go, transfer ship goes down. So the Viper cannot transport units anymore. It's about the time I want to see the Viper just delete the TC. Get the second and third TCs up over here. He doesn't need to delete it right now, but he does not want to overboom in any case. So after he gets to like 30 villagers or whatever, he needs to stop producing villagers from here. Actually, he's getting close to that 30 villager count or so. He needs to stop going for villagers over here, because eventually he's going to overpopulate the island and he won't be able to get much of anything over there. He basically can only go for as many villagers as he can fit farms around the Starten Island that will be beyond the range of Navy units from Hera. So Viper can go for as many villagers as he can populate farms with about this area. This is about as much as he'll be able to make use of without water control. Of course, we know, right? So yeah, there we go. There we go. And at the center, Hera is coming over to the center. Finally, he's got a scout over here, and check this out. He knows about Viper's TC. He knows about Viper's second TC. He doesn't know about Viper's TC. Meanwhile, the Viper, on the other hand, has got no idea about the TC from Hera. Although he saw the scout though, so he should be suspecting something's up over here. And if he brings the monk down further south a little bit, he's going to spot the TC right there. The Viper Greed will come into play again, but I like that approach more. I feel the center is more crucial than Castle Age water control. Yeah, whoa, for sure. 100%. If you get center control over here, you get the game. It doesn't matter if your opponent's got the water control. The only thing that you're going to be able to get from water control is fish. So food. And even that is going to be inefficient very soon, because if you don't get access to the center island, you can go for dogs for your fishing ships to be more efficient or to remain efficient, so they will have to travel so long into your starting island. And eventually you run out of gold over here, you run out of stone, right? So the center is absolutely crucial. And there we go, now the Viper knows about the TC over here, knows about the second TC coming out. We're gonna see if he goes for a potential siege workshop or something. For the time being, it seems like he's gonna start going for knights instead though. Remember that he gets, with Berbers, a 15% discount on stable units. So with two stables over here. Oh, and a castle on the way for the Viper! He bought the castle over here, 200 stone he was missing. Utilized the market, and he's coming with a castle drop over there, and Hera cannot do anything in this position to deny the castle. He's got only one scout over here for military. The Viper's got stone scout over here. Well, he loses it to the TC, but he's got enough villagers to prevent the scout from doing much of anything. So the Viper's castle over here puts him in a very good spot, and Hera took so long. Again, second time in a row on this map. And Hera struggles to make a timely transition to the center, so the Viper doesn't have enough resource to go for yet another castle, but he will spot the TC coming up right away, and he's got 2 monks, so he can try and get the conversion. Might be able to do it. There we go, and the scout does not get converted. So both of these monks go down. That was awful. That was atrocious for the Viper. Terrible RNG. But now the knights are coming in. That is coming up anyway though. But the Viper's got a siege workshop. What to expect over here? Well, the red player should start sending some units over here, the mangonels around this area, and then from here he can take the TC down. Hera's gonna try to get the castle, but this castle is not going to provide enough protection for him to, there we go, prevent mangonels from taking the TC down at all. So I don't think it achieves too much as is right now. Okay, there's a pause. I would imagine this is probably a pause coming out from Hera. Maybe he needs a minute. Nope, it was paused by the Viper. It was paused by the Viper, interestingly enough. Hopefully everything's alright. Guys, I'm going to ask a pretty awkward question over here. Does the Viper have a kid with Debbie? Because during the Red Bull World Legacy tournament, I think I saw Debbie carry a, what do you call it? A cart. Like a baby cart. I don't remember what the name of it is. A carriage, I think, right? No? I don't know, I might have seen that incorrectly. I know that was a weird question, sorry. Must have been Justice? Wait, what? No way. He mentioned a year ago or more that Chim is carried. Ah, never mentioned kids again. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks big time. I'm very sorry to hear that. To answer your question, Limo, by the way, I really like that painting. The game feature is that capture each thing. I've never seen that with other casters. No, that is just on my channel. Oh no, actually I think Moonfaller might also use it himself as well. The tool that we use is called PP Ink, and you can get a link to it by doing exclamation mark annotations in the chat. You're going to get a link to it, and anybody can use it, and any caster can use it, they just choose not to, I think. But I have a setup that is specifically put up to take advantage of this, so there's a bunch of things that I have done to make sure that I can take full advantage of it. By default, you can only just do this. And if you don't have a tablet, then it looks like this because the mouse doesn't have pressure. Alright, then I've given away my secrets now. Let's see. Hera's going for a second TC on the right hand side. And the cast is staying up for the time being. Warlords over here are extremely strong. Now the Viper's going up to the Imperial Age and Hera. Hera's on his way to the Imperial Age as well, though he is a little bit later to it. Warlord against Berbers. Yes, we have the Camel Archers coming out over here. The interesting thing is the Viper, he can go for Camel Archers and they will have bonus damage against the War Wagons, but the HP of these units will get them significantly longer, going significantly longer compared to any other Cavalry Archer type unit, right? But the Viper could potentially even make a play for Jenny Taurus, and it wouldn't, you know, be that bad over here because it doesn't cost any gold. Just go for it. He could go for it. Here's going for the castle. The Viper's going for the castle. Viper's once again gonna put pressure against Hera with this one. Do you think the Viper will try to retake water at any point? I wouldn't really, you know, hold my breath for it. I don't think he needs to. I think with center control, he takes this game easy, so it's fine. The only thing that kind of would hurt for the Viper by not getting water presence again is the fact that with Cannon Galleon, I think Hera would still have enough range to take down the castles over here for sure. But even then, there's not enough range even with Cannon Galleon for Hera to take the game over here against the Viper when the Viper's got full center control. So I think the Viper's doing the right thing at focusing over here, just trying to hold on to the center island. It's got Casbah coming out, 25% faster working castles. Bracer on the way as well. For the red player in Hera, he's just gonna keep on going for more War Wagons. He's got 2 castles to produce from. And the Viper's gonna have the first trebuchet come up in the north. There we go. Imperial Age is here for Hera as well. He's going for Bracer. Yes, he's going for Chemistry. But this is so much later though. The Viper's got even Ballistics right now on the way to catch up to Hera for that upgrade. Plate Bar than Armor also will make his cavalry unit significantly stronger. Melee cavalry, that is, in the case. Here we go. Castle's going down for sure very soon. The TC's gonna go down next. Viper's going for a third TC. For a third castle, sorry. And Hera's gonna start going for his own trebuchet. He's taking the Siege Workshop over here. But of course, Viper can lose the Siege Workshop and he doesn't care about it. It's not anywhere near as bad as losing a castle over here, so Hera's still in a world of pain. And here come the cavalry units from the Viper, as we don't have Galleon yet. Hera's war galleys will not really do anything against the cavalry units, so now that's a lot of villages going down. A bloody parade for the bull player. Losing villagers after villagers. All of these going down. And my lord. There we go. This is a big struggle. Big struggle for Hera. He's got 2 castles still. He's managed to get another castle over here. He's trying to gain ground against the Viper. And the Viper's got the hill advantage over here for the trebuchets. So it shouldn't take too long for him to take this castle down at the very least. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for Hera to start gaining some ground over here. But maybe as fast as the castle came up, he's about to lose it. Do camel archers have extra damage versus wagons? Yes. War wagons, they have... taking a look at the armor over here. Where's the armor? There we go. They have a covered archer type armor of -1. So the camel archers will have bonus damage against these guys. For sure. As the castle crumbles over here for Hera. And the monastery crumbles over here. The Viper is gonna need to go for another one. He is going for a monastery right away to collect the relics again. And... we see the light cavalry, the camel archers coming over. We don't have enough war wagons over here for Hera, and once again, the Viper's looking really strong in game number 3 already. Hera so far has really been struggling to take advantage of the Imperial H upgrade himself as well. Has not gone for Cannon Galleon. He struggled to make use of the trebuchets. And the Viper's map control over here is certainly just getting him so much. This castle, most likely not going down very soon for Hera as well. That's going to leave him on 1 castle. And even if he was still left in 2 castles, what does he do? The War Wagons get completely wiped out over there. The trebuchets go down from Hera. The villagers follow suit. The Viper seems to be in a position to secure game number 3 and get a 3-0 series against Hera so far. Putting himself 2 wins away from taking the tournament with still 6 games left to go. Potentially. But man, this is not even close. Is it 2019 or why is the snake curb stomping this? Yeah, I know, right? You wouldn't really expect that to be the case, but he's taken on probably the strongest opponents he could have taken in this tournament so far. After taking Leary down yesterday. And so far, taking on Hera. And I don't want to say without any troubles, of course, because Hera has certainly swung a few times himself, but the Viper certainly seems to be the one in the driver's seat in the series so far. But yeah, after taking on Leary and Hera over here, the only player that, you know, would be left over here for the Viper to take down from the top 4 would be Mr. Yo. And I don't actually recall, did the Viper face Mr. Yo before in the tournament? Maybe in the group stage? Yes? Yeah. In the round of 8. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Quarterfinal. Right. Yeah. You're correct. I remember now. 4-3 series. So it's basically taking on everyone, right? It's like a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Hera calls the GG over here. We were expecting this to be the case, of course, in the last minute or so. So the Viper, guys, he finds himself on a 3-0 lead against Hera. Going kind of boss after boss here. Kind of like in the Mortal Kombat tower or totem or whatever, right? He's taking on Mr. Yo. He's moved on to take on Leary. Now he's taking on Hera. And yeah, we'll see for game number 3. A better KD for Hera. In the end, doesn't matter. For the economy, Viper managed to collect so many extra resources. 9,000 extra resources that, yeah, he might have lost for the extra units. That's not going to be worth that much amount of resources. And especially when you keep in mind the fact that Hera invested a lot of his economy also, especially early on, into Navy units, which the Viper didn't really commit to in the long run, of course, as he was prioritizing the center. So yeah, it was so good for the red player. 3-0. Here on the back foot. Needs a few wins over here to have a chance in the series. Here we are. Taking a look at the saves, starting with Hera, playing with Franks over here. That means that we're going to see for the bull player, free farm upgrades, 15% faster working foragers, 25% cheaper castles, as well as 20% extra HP on cavalry units starting with the field age, and then for the team bonus, was 2 extra line of sight on Nightline units. On the right hand side, for the Viper, playing with Chinese, we're going to have 5 extra population support and 5 extra line of sight from the TCs. We see in addition to that for the Chinese 3 extra villagers to start the game with. 200 less food and 50 less wood though. And then 10, 15 and 30% cheaper upgrades in the field castle and Imperial Ages. While for the team bonus is going to have 10% extra food on farms for free. So that's going to be about it. Let's take a look at the left-hand side. Let's take a look at the map generation for both these guys. Let's see. For the bull player, we have 1 gold in front of his TC. We have another goal for on the back over here. Actually, we have another goal over here on the back as well. But both of these are very, very far away from the TC. One still on the back as well, kind of far away too. And the map generation, I think it might be possible for him if he wanted to go for walls. I'm not saying that he should be going for this. Usually the players are just going to go for local walls. But if Hera wanted to be greedy over here, I think there might be one tile over here where he would be able to get a wall towards the TC and then potentially secure the full wood line over here. But I don't think that's what we are going to see. Most likely we're just going to have a Hera play for local walls. On the right hand side, taking a look at the Viper's map generation, we're going to see a little bit of a better generation, I think, overall, because he's got 4 golds compared to 3, you know, from Hera. We have 1 in front over here, there is another one over here a little bit farther away, but then there is another one on the back over here, and there is another one over here up in the north. This map generation wouldn't really allow for the Viper to go for a greedy wall out over here towards the edge of the map, because he would have to go for something ridiculous like this, which is just not going to happen. So most likely we're just going to see the walls over here around the lumberjacks, and that'll be about it. Stone on the other hand, we have one on the right hand side over here, but we don't really have any stone readily available for the Viper though, so that is something that changes between both these players. Hera seems like he's got much more readily available stone available, especially with this one on the back. Little skirmish over here between the scouts. They disengage, the Viper takes an extra loss. An extra HP loss compared to Hera, that is. Or a few extra HP losses. Another field is coming up for both these players. On this game mode, that we have Warlords beginning, where players begin already with 9 villagers and 6 villagers underneath the TC surrounding a herdable. Chinese are notoriously strong. Usually, on a standard RM game where Chinese begin with only 3 villagers, they do end up getting north of 20 seconds of idle TC time. It's just the way it goes. But over here on Warlords, the Chinese are actually able to keep the idle TC time to a minimum. Here it takes 2 geese over here, well done. Fantastic. But you can see the Viper's got only 5 seconds of idle TC time himself, which means that he's, for the most part, gonna be able to hold on to his 3 villager lead or so, assuming that he does not get housed. It's getting kind of close over there. He's gotta go for a house already. Viper. Mate! Oh man, this is bad. He's got Loom already. Yeah, there is a pause. Is the Viper here? The Viper seems to be here. Yeah, APM is actually quite good. What is going on? Is there a lag or something? Who's pausing this? The Viper's pausing this. I'm not really sure what the reason might be. That being the Lord is just a running meme in the community. You don't have to worry about it too much. You have the followers of the Lord. And you have the heretics, so... you either believe or you don't. Heretics, rather. There we go. The pagans. Yeah. You don't worry about it too much. Guys, Hera already has scouts coming forward. He's got into the fuel H and he's got the scout production coming up already. Meanwhile, the Viper's got a stable over here, but he's only now getting the second scout out. He was significantly later to the fuel H. The heretics? Yeah. How do you even pronounce? Is it Hera or is it Hera? I'm kind of unsure right now. Is that, by the way, is that a Greek goddess or is it a Roman goddess? I never can tell. I think it's Greek, right? If it's Greek, it might be Hera because isn't Hades pronounced like that? I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. You let me know. Greek? Okay. Now Hades and Hera or Hera, they do not really have... They are not really related for pronunciation, sorry, so I'm not really sure why I brought it up, but... Maybe just to say that it probably doesn't sound the way that it looks. To be honest, I've always wondered why I picked that name. Yeah, good question. I have no idea. Maybe it's the same situation as me. You know, I am Nova. Nova is a female word for new. And it's just a heritage nickname from when I was a teenager and I had this make-believe graphic design company called Nova Inc. That was my username on Twitch back in the day as well, but then everybody just started calling me Nova, so I just dropped the ink, swapped it for AoE. Maybe it's something similar for Hera, who knows? Doesn't fit, and yeah, pronunciation, at least from my perspective, just awkward. Yeah, it probably is. So far, Hera's not really been able to do too much damage over here, to speak of. As a matter of fact, right now, KD favors Hera, yes, 1-0, but 0 eco units down for either player. The Viper's got an archer range over here and on the left-hand side. We'll see the Viper coming forward. Hera does have some exposed villages over here, and the Viper's got enough to take on the Spearman over there pretty easily. So if he takes on the Spearman over there, he's still going to have enough units to take some villagers potentially, but he's going to just choose and play it safe. Just go past the Spearman and try to find some extra exposed economy. It is very difficult to find exposed villagers on a game against Hera on this map. So the Viper, I think, probably would have been better off just trying to take the engagement over here. Takes the Spearman down. Loses a little bit of HP on one of the scouts, but then he's able to get 2-3 villagers down. I think that would have been worth it. Then on the right-hand side, yeah, Hera, not this life. Not in this life will be able to get a villager from the Viper when the Viper's got 5 freaking Spearmen over here. It certainly feels like the Viper kind of wasted an opportunity over there. He was in a clan called Immortals. Everyone needed to have a gun. Is that so, Gerland? I have no idea. That is actually very interesting. See? There we are. Why not Hades though or something? Is it what is Hera the god for? God for love? For war? What is it? It's not for war because that's the God of War character, right? Don't remember the name right now. What is Hera the god for? He didn't know. Oh, Ares' War. He didn't know it was a female name. Marriage and fertility. Well, that's a gamer tag and a half right there. Oh, Kratos. There we go. Kratos is the name of the God of War character. Do they have more than one? Anyway, let's not get too carried away from the game because we have a lot of pressure coming out from Hera. The scouts and archers over here. Forces a tower up from the Viper, and the Viper obliges. Gets a tower up over there and secures the goal for the time being. Meanwhile, Hera so far has been unable to do anything. And still, very, very few kills this game. We are 15 minutes into it with 2 kills for each player. Just military units, no villages whatsoever. By the time he realized it was too late. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I guess he was probably very young at that time. He's very young right now, and he's been Hera like forever. You know, back in the Bully days, he was already using the Hera moniker. Anyway, the Viper's going forward. And this time around, he is going to commit though. He's taking out the Spearman, so these go down. Now the Viper's gonna try and get the village down over here. He might be able to get one if he dies underneath the TC, but he would end up losing a lot of the scouts over there. So in the end, he took a lot of HP losses over here. And I don't want to say for nothing, because he did push Hera kind of away from the goal for the time being, but Hera's going back right away. And the Viper, not the one to linger around the single resource for too long. Is going to go after the berries right now, and he spots this. He's gonna go after the Spearman. He's not gonna go for it because many of the scouts are very weak. See? Tried to find a weak villager over here instead. There are none, so he's gonna try to create an opportunity, but he can't. And Hera's back. He's been forced into bringing his units back, and now the Viper's gonna have to bail. Now both these players are going after the Castle Age. So far, the military count is very similar for both these guys, with the scout count that is significantly higher for Hera compared to the Viper, 50% so. The red player. Here we are. The red player, he's got archers, he's got skirmishers and spearmen, significantly more spearmen compared to Hera. The archers are going to make a big difference over here, but Hera's also been going for archers himself. Now, you know, Franks are not a very strong civilization for range units. It's got only +2 attack and +2 defense. He can go for crossbows, and a good amount of units will be still deadly in the Castle Age, but without ring arch armor, without bracer, without thumb ring, even in the Castle Age, he's already going to start falling behind. Sure, he gets +2 attack, +2 defense, but without thumb ring, they're not going to be quite as good. The Viper's units are going to be more accurate, and they're going to be faster attacking as well. Now, this is not good for the Viper, and that is a Hera snipe, if you've seen one. He loves to go for those sneaky picks over here. The Viper garrisons some of the villages, but not everyone. And then on the left-hand side, see, as Hera gets to the Castle Age, he goes for a second TC, and the Viper not so much. He doesn't really have the resources. He's gonna get a monastery up, as he's really expecting Hera to commit tonight. He's got camels on the way, the Viper that is. He's got the crossman up and Bucking Arrow coming up, and forward. He will push the villagers away from the goal though for a second time. 2 villagers going down. Make that 3 villagers with the crossman upgrades. Not difficult for the Viper's units to take the units down. So that's going to be 4 villagers down the ground already for Hera. But the Viper's arrows over here, and it's not even going to be the end of it. We see yet another villager crumble over there, and another one, and another one. 8 villagers dead, 9 villagers dead already from Hera. Well, the Viper, on the other hand, is kind of exposed over here on the woodline, ends up losing a few villagers himself, but so far 3-1 KD for economy in favor of the Viper. It's going to keep on roaming around as well. There's a lot of exposed economy over here. Potentially as a TC can only shelter 15 villagers. Maybe not a lot, just 2 villagers potentially exposed over there. But the Viper's looking strong, guys. Especially with Hera having only scale bar than armor. These knights are extremely frail. You can see the amount of crossbows the Viper was working with over there. The knight TC for a while as well, yes. And now Hera, he's got some crossbows coming forward. And the Viper is in for a lot of losses over here if he doesn't realize about this. We take a look at his point of view, and he knows about the crossbows. It's taking some time for him to react over here. Now he's going to do it, but he's got enough defensive units to hold on against these crosses. As a matter of fact, discounting the villagers over here, the army from the Viper is looking stronger actually. Camels are coming forward, pushing the knights down. And all of a sudden, Hera starts to fall apart. He crumbles. 12 military units, 26 for Hera and for the Viper, respectively. Over twice the military count for the Viper. What? What is that? Get out of here. What? Sorry about that. Yeah, you know, and Viper's kind of struggling over here a little bit, but should be able to take these crosses down. They are trapped, basically. Hera can only take advantage of the hill over here and perhaps hope he'll be able to get a better engagement. Even if you manage to clean out the units from the Viper's got the defender's advantage, so he keeps on bringing more units, right? And then Hera wouldn't be left on too much HP anyway, so the Viper's taking this one. That engagement on the right-hand side, that is. And then on the left-hand side, another villager crumbles. 1 TC though, but it's calculated. That is why the Viper is ahead in military count. The thing is, you want to be... This is a very, very common thing to see in Age of Empires. One player is going to go for economy, the other player is going to go for military. And the player going for military is hoping that they'll be able to put enough pressure to do enough damage to offset for what otherwise would be uncontested economy from the other player. But that usually happens when one player is ahead in military by a lot and the other player is ahead in economy or starts pulling ahead in economy by a lot. And right now, Hera has taken the most eco losses this game, losing 12 villagers, has struggled to get the eco lead that he should have already at this point. So the Viper, he is behind the villager count, yes, but it's only by 4 and he's got a lot of extra military units and he's done the most damage this game so far. He's got a second TC coming up over here himself as well. He's gonna get ballistics very soon. And that all is to say that Hera has not really been able to take advantage of his second TC so far for the most part. It's been a lot of resources he invested and couldn't really take advantage of it too much, right? Nice snipes over here. Hera ends up taking 2, 3 additional villagers. Kind of catching up a little bit on Eco KV. Meanwhile, the Viper's gonna try to get some villagers down over here. Won't be able to too much. Shouldn't be able to anyway. Crossbows get pushed away by Hera. But the game has stabilized. Hera gets knocked down right on the right hand side around Viper's base as well. So I would say kind of neck and neck right now. Sure, the Viper got a few extra villagers, especially earlier villagers. But he lost a villager lead already that he got with Chinese. He was a little bit later to the second TC. He's gonna try to catch up. He's going for a third TC right now. Right? But for what he's lacking in economy, he's got for military still. With almost twice the military count compared to Hera. He's bringing the crossbows. He's bringing the heat up. The camels over here. And now with ballistics, in just 8 seconds, the Viper will be in a much better position to take an engagement over here. Basically, both players will try to draw arrow fire with their cavalry units. The difference is that the Viper is going to be a lot more effective at chunking the HP off Hera's units compared to Hera's crossbows. A chunk in the camel down. What does the yellow 4 mean next to the Viper's name? Oh! That probably means a 4-0, man, because the Viper takes game number 4. And Hera does not want to keep on trying anymore. He did not even get cleaned up over here yet, but he was about to. So he doesn't want to keep on trying, and wow! The Viper is completely dominating Hera over here. 4-0 so far. There is no home map Hera can utilize over here that's going to give him an edge over the Viper, and in all seriousness, by the way, the 4 over here means that the Viper's original color is yellow, but I changed it over to red to make it a little bit easier for us to see the players. Sometimes yellow is going to be difficult to see on, you know, the Certic maps and the minimap, the units as well, so just change it. But it's basically the color the player is using in-game, so to say. Let's go through the achievements then, and guys, the Viper puts himself 1 game away from taking the title over here with 5 games to go. For the first 4 games, he's had a 100% effectiveness against Hera. You do the math. I'm not going to try and do some stream maths over here, but basically chances are pretty high for the Viper, I would say right now. Overall, the KD is favoring the red player with a 11 to 10 KD ratio. With a stronger economy, the Viper is able to afford a much stronger push, actually, a lot more units compared to Hera as well. And then for society, we'll see a higher villager max count for Hera. But it did not matter. He ended up taking the most losses as well. Remember, the Viper putting pressure from earlier in the castle age with the crossman upgrade as well. Ends up taking 14 villagers from Hera. Meanwhile, he ended up losing only 9 himself. And there we are. The Viper with Aztecs will be playing on the right hand side with the red color. Technically green in game, but this is what I was talking about. If we have the Viper in green over here, it's going to be a little bit harder to distinguish him from the terrain, especially for certain colorblind people, I would assume. So we're going to keep him in the red, and then Hera is going to be playing with Burmese on the left hand side as well. Yeah, it's a very interesting pick over here. We're going to talk about the bonuses in a moment. It's a question that interests me not at all, but assuming Hera wins, what would Viper's map be again? Let me check. So the Vipers got Socotra and Yucatan left for his home maps. And Hera, he's got Arena left. And then there is also Scandinavia and Arabia, but those are for games 8 and 9 respectively. A little bit of pressure coming up over here. The Viper taking a go down, but that's about it. Nobody's sending a villager forward or anything. Arena, you say? That is for Hera, Hera's home map. The Viper's home maps are Yucatan. And what is the other one? Yeah, basically Yucatan, because Socotra is for this one. Wait, I'm missing one, am I not? I think I'm missing one. Because this one is Socotra, then the next one would be Arena. Oh, Yucatan and Arena, and then Scandinavia and Arabia. This is a turn of events that I did not expect at all. Let's take a look at the civilization bonuses, given the fact that nobody's really going for any pressure early on over here, trying to lame or anything. We're going to see instead Hera. With Burmese, he's going to get a 50% discount on monastery upgrades, which is huge. And could pave the road for a potential monk push over here. That is the one thing that I can think of over here for Hera. I'm not really sure what else he could go for. He could go potentially for militias, perhaps, because the other bonus for Burmese is going to be 1 extra attack on barracks units per age, starting in the field age. So they can go up to +7 attack in the Imperial Age by getting the +3 per age, right? Or the +1 per age up to +3 in the Imperial Age plus Blast Furnace. That can be +7. Infantry units from the barracks. And then on top of that, Burmese also get 3 lumber camp upgrades. I believe that's it for them, right? I don't think I'm missing out on anything. For the team bonus, on the other hand, they're going to have relics visible from the get-go in the map, so he knows where they are, but that's about it. The Viper, instead, playing with Aztecs, will get villages that can carry 3 extra resources per trip for free. On top of that, we're going to find that the Aztecs get 11% faster training military units, except for monks. Monks, instead, will get 5 extra HP for each monastery technology that they research. So Viper is also going to have very strong civilization to potentially make a play for monks over here, even though he's going to have to pay full price for the upgrades. What you need to get your monk push going isn't really too much. You need Sanctity, Fervor, Atonement, of course, if you're going to be fighting against enemy monks too. And potentially Redemption, but that's going to be dependent on what your opponent goes for, regardless. So besides that, Aztecs will also have, for the team bonus, 33% faster gold income from relics. So he will also benefit from collecting the relics himself. The thing is, the map is so small, I don't think the team bonus for Burmese is going to change much of anything. By the time we get to the Castle Age, both these players are probably already going to be in, with enough vision, right, to know where the relics are anyway. Tower coming up for the Viper, the Fuel H already, putting pressure. Hera is going for an archer range. And the Viper actually, oh, he finds a better spot over here. This is great for the Viper. With the tower coming up, the red player over here, he denies Skinny Tower. He denies the berries, the gold, and the stone. This is huge. And now we're going to see Hera try to react with the counter tower over here. He should be able to get this one up, and because of the defender's advantage, he should be able to take this tower down. However, the Viper is going to make it pretty difficult. He's got Minotaurs over here himself. Hera's going for archers, but he's got to wait until he gets them out. For the time being, it's going to be out of resources. And this is already doing so much damage. You know, by the Viper, it's ridiculous. Keep in mind, Hera was kind of banking on the berries over here. Now he's moving over to the left-hand side, going for an extra gold. And the Viper's fine. Here we go. Yeah, on Sokotra you're going to see players go for enemy resources more often than not because the map's so tiny and they're so close to each other. Usually you see either villagers going forward to try and take the huntables down so that your enemy cannot take it. And if you do not do that, then you can send your scout forward and try to push some of the enemy huntables over to your base as well. Which is what we saw this time around. It's pretty standard, yes. But it's kind of necessary, of course. 1 minute idle TC for the Viper, and more so than that, now going out to 1.5 minutes of idle TC time. Now looking the greatest for the Viper. Takes the first loss over here with the Eagle Scout going down. The game is stabilized. Yes. The tower got taken down from the Viper over here, so Hera gets access to the resource once again. He has sent the villagers over to the berries. He has not sent villagers over to the goal. He's already collecting from here, so there is no need for him to travel to the south. And the archers are coming over. Should be able to take on the Minotaurs over here pretty easily, yes. The Viper's gonna start going for his own archers. Got some skirmishers coming in as well. There we go. Let's hope Hera is not tilted and gives us more games. Right now, he's looking better. He's got 4 extra villagers. Right. Anybody that has 6 villagers, they are able to carry extra resources for free. Is only going to get you so far. If you take a look at the economy time over here, it's looking better for Hera, and it's probably going to stay that way. So long as he's able to keep the villagers working, of course. Here comes the Viper though. Hera, respecting the skirmishers, keeps his distance. We have fletching coming up as well for Hera, which he desperately needs. The Viper already has it right now, so he cannot really engage until he gets fletching. We might see a village go down. That was so close though. Hera saves it for the time being, and the Viper's getting pushed back, but is he getting pushed down though? He's not getting taken down just yet. And Hera survives over here to tell the story. The Viper's getting housed. Now looking the best for the red player over here. Let me take a look at the APM. Is the Viper trying to play too fast for his own good? Not at all, actually. Hera is in a much better position. In that regard, at the very least, Hera's been able to keep up. His APM significantly higher. We might see a village go down over there. Yes, sir! First decoupled over here, favoring the blue player. And now we have another villager going down. And another one going down from the Viper. He's trying to get the quick walls up over here, but he cannot do it on time. No, Hera's coming into the back wall line from the Viper. Taking Ville after Ville. Finds himself kind of trapped against the defensive units from the Viper, but he's managed to do so much damage over here that it might not matter. If he loses the units over here, and he will, and he does, he already manages to find enough damage over here to justify losing his army over. 6 villager picks for Hera against a player who's gotten already 1 minute and 40 seconds, or 1 minute and 50 seconds actually, of extra idle TC time. So no wonder Hera right now on 10 extra workers compared to the Viper finds himself in a fantastic position. He's got enough resources to feast for days. He's gonna utilize it to go out to the castle age very soon. The Viper, by cleaning the units out from Hera's, got some momentum over here. As Hera doesn't really have any units to defend himself. He could have utilized some of these resources to go for perhaps some skirmishers or something. So now the Viper's got a chance of getting some more damage down himself. And so far, Hera's been able to prevent taking too many losses. Yes, not a single villager going down over there. He's just going for a lumber camp further down south. He could potentially wall this up. There we go. Stone wall. Beautiful. So there we go. Castle Age is on the way for Hera. He's got a significant head start to it. I like Hera, but he's just not in it right now. For game number 5, he's looking good, mind you. But yeah, so far in the series, it's definitely been a struggle. And the Viper's not been the one to shy away for a little bit of idle TC time in order to get some extra units out for military. And he's just been trying to put pressure. It's not paid off just yet. I would imagine the Viper was probably just trying to prioritize military production over here in hopes that by going forward with more units, he would be able to take on a few of Hera's villagers, try to punish his economy over here, and then kind of compensate, right, for the idle, for the extreme amount of idle TC time that Viper's gotten so far. But it's not been good. It's not been good for the Viper. Hera's gonna be the first one to get to the castle age, and this game is looking much better for the bull player for a change, right? Game 5 is, as we stated before, match point, and Hera's on the ropes over here. He has to win basically 5 games back-to-back to take the series over here on the Viper. The Viper seems like he's going to concede the first game over here on Socotra as Hera gets to the castle age, goes for a siege workshop, and the Viper still about 45 seconds away from the castle age himself. Beautiful knights from Hera. There we go. And these archers are getting cleaned up. Well done. Up in the north. We see Hera trying to break through over here. Not gonna be able to. Well, Viper concede. He will just win with 15 eagles in around 10 minutes. Alright. Alright. We have 2 barracks over here for the Viper. Yeah, 2 total. He's not going for any more. Meanwhile, Hera's trying to breach through the north. He will be able to, but Hera's already going for an extra layer of walls. And here come the Eagle Scouts. Get spotted right away by the Knights. And Hera should be able to defend against Eagles by Knights, but he's got something coming his way that's going to be much deadlier, in my opinion. And that is freaking Aztecs monks. Freaking Aztec monks coming out from the Viper with double monastery. There's a lot of units coming in though, mind you, from Hera. There's a lot of military pressure coming in from the blue player. 8 Knights, the Mangonel. We'll see the Eagle Warriors coming up. Eagle Scouts even, not even Eagle Warriors yet. And Hera's just trying to dive in over here. We'll see the conversion coming up, and he's not gonna be able to connect it. Oh! Took his own, like covering down. No, I think that was yeah, he took his own, like covering down over there in the end. Still manages to get the monk down without losing a single unit to a conversion. So that's still going in favor of Hera, mind you. Without Eagle Warriors over here, without effective monks, the Viper won't be able to keep up anymore. As Hera is knocking on Viper's door on the back over here. We see more monks being targeted over here by the Knights. And Hera's coming in! He's coming in! It's open! The Viper did not hold the right-hand side. He gets pushed away from the wood, and the Viper's crumbling! With 14 fewer workers compared to Hera, he does manage to get 2 conversions over here, but his economy is a disaster. The efficiency is just down the gutter. Take a look at this. Worker efficiency in the last minute, 46%, compared to 70 for Hera. And all-time worker efficiency for the Viper is really low for his economy overall. 72% is not great. You take a look at the blue player on the other hand. We have 73%. A little bit higher. A lot of extra villagers. Should amount to a few hundred extra resources collected so far for Hera. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the gather economy time. It's an hour and a half. An hour and a half higher for Hera so far. Now with the second TC coming up, that's just going to keep on skyrocketing. Not only an hour and a half, but if you think of it in terms of like proportional equally, that's about 22% or so. Stronger gather economy time stats over here for Hera compared to the Viper. Gonna be looking at this matchup, and I hope it goes to 9 games. I'm hoping that going to 9 games after this start will be nothing short of incredible from Hera. And I am certainly hoping for a full series still. And then I don't care who wins, but we want to see the games, right? Here we go. Monk going down for Hera. The Viper starts to put some pressure over here. He's got some converted like cavalry. Couldn't have these units otherwise, of course. Yeah, and Hera's gonna hold on over here just fine. Now, I am not really sure if I'm liking this from Hera, though. He had some great momentum, and the Viper was certainly scrambling to stay alive. I think Hera would probably have them better off just keeping pressure up and potentially taking the game by going for full pressure. But now that he's playing defensive over here, this actually opens up the door for the Viper to go for a counter-strike over here to mass enough units to make his army significantly more effective as well. So we have Eagle Scouts over here. Still no Eagle Warriors. He's got more monks, and these guys from the Viper, by the way, they already have Sanctity, yes. They already have Fervor. And I'm not really sure what else they got. They got Atonement. They got Atonement, Sanctity, and Fervor. So that's going to make up for 60 HP for these guys. And he gets the conversions over there. And my lord, the Viper, if he adds some siege into the mix over here, becomes deadly. So he's going for the siege workshop. He knows how to play this. He's been in this position in the past, and now Hera's playing defensive over here. The knights he's got there are not going to be numerous enough, especially against the amount of monks that the Viper's bringing over here. He could convert 100% of Hera's knight army. And then some. We have 11 military units for Hera. The Viper's got 8 monks. If he lands all the conversions over here, what does Hera do, really? Let's see, RNG favors over there the blue player for 1 conversion. We're gonna see this one getting converted back, of course, so Hera decides to delete it over risking losing it to the monks from the Viper as well. And now, Redemption's coming out. That's going to boost the HP of these monks further. And then he can go and try to convert the Siege Workshop. And this is huge. Because the Viper, he gets, by the way, another monk. The way he plays this is he goes over to the Siege Workshop and starts charging the conversion. The moment the mana comes out from Hera, assuming that the Viper gets, yeah, there we go, more than 15 seconds over here of conversion time. More than 10 seconds actually of conversion time. The moment that the mana comes out, if the Viper's paying attention, should be able to convert the mana. If he doesn't, well, he converts the Siege Workshop, which is even better. So I don't think the Viper is gonna hurt too much over here over losing a converted monk over there to the mana. And we see the Siege Workshop is going to be there. The Viper gets both these Knight Cavalry. He's got some monks over still with faith left in them. So he's gonna try and deny the castle, but doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to. There's just too many villages, not enough monks over here. There really is not enough faith. The castle's coming up and Hera stabilizes himself. He's got a counter strike coming up over here on the back of Viper's base. Ends up pushing villages away from the wood. There we go. Hera stabilizes, and the Viper wasn't going to do too much with the mana over there. Probably forgot he had it coming up. So yeah. That is an army of monks, full monks for the Viper, who's getting closer to having enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age, by the way. And he's coming over. It's very interesting to see from the Viper. He's not going for any more. He's just waiting until he gets enough to go up to the Imperial Age, so he can hopefully go for a castle and trebuchets himself, right? So he's got the castle coming up for, and that is a beautiful castle. Remember we saw earlier, there were a few golds available for Hera. And the one down the south he is about to run out of. It's got only 460 left or so. And the Viper's doing a really good job over here. Converted everything that Hera's got to throw at him. 7 military units for Hera. The Viper's going to get the castle up. He's going up to the Imperial Age. Hera doesn't have the resources. He managed to stabilize himself, but once the snake gets to the 4th age, it's gonna be the only player with access to trebuchets. So many freaking monks. We have a divine entourage coming forward from the Viper. A parade of holiness from the red player. And if you're familiar with Aztec history, you might realize what the Viper's fishing for over here is capturing enemy units for sacrifices to the gods. And he's already gotten a lot of blood for his monks. And beautiful quick wall over here. Come on, are you kidding me? The Viper managed to save both these monks over there with the quick walls, and this is just incredible. Incredible performance. And the castle comes up, but the Viper's gonna be in the Imperial Age in a minute, in 20 seconds or so. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, he's got Siege coming up with Rams. The monks over here still, right-hand side. Hera's trying to put pressure with light cavalry. Not anywhere near going up to the Imperial Age. And what's basically going to define this game is whether or not Hera manages to get enough light cavalry, and if the Viper manages to defend his trebuchets with the monks alone. Given the amount of HP these units have right now, I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Viper was able to convert all the light cavalry with monks. Especially once he gets to the Imperial Age, if he's able to go for block printing. That'd be great. Theocracy would help quite a lot as well. Illumination and all the good stuff from the Imperial Age for the monks. So there we go. And this is just, there's a massacre. The Viper's losing a lot of villages over here for sure. Still though, he's gonna be the first player in the Imperial Age. We see the trebuchet coming up. He's moving over to the left-hand side where he's gonna be able to protect his economy with the castle. But that means that he's kind of done for on the right-hand side. What does he go for? Hera's actually expanding over here. Is going to completely steal Viper's original base. There we go. Wasn't it considered an honor in Aztec or possibly Mayan society to be sacrificed to the gods? Might be. Might be. I think I read not very long ago that the Jaguar warriors, they were supposedly units that would be tasked with capturing you know, war, what do you call it? Well, captured people, I don't know, to sacrifice to the gods. But in any case, the monks over here are doing a more than good enough job. We still have 10 monks over here. The Vipers just finished researching Theocracy, which makes microing this a little bit easier. It's gonna start targeting the castle now. Prisoners of war, there we go. Thank you, Thorwin. Couldn't remember the word prisoners. This castle might go down, and once again, this is really defined by whether or not the Viper's able to protect the trebuchets against the light cavalry, because Hera's gonna want to dive in. Hera's gonna want to dive in and take on the monks, take on the trebuchets. He's just massing the units up first. He's got 19 light cavalry. If he gets more units, if he gets enough units that he's gonna have more left, even if the Viper lands all the conversions, that is good, of course, for Hera. So let's take a look. Here come the light cavalry. The quick wall for the Viper does not connect. The light cavalry are getting converted over here in the castle. The castle's doing so much damage though. Hera still has some light cavalry over here. He's going after the monks. But the castle is doing so much damage. And now the trebuchets are left alive. The castle crumbles from Hera. We have one left on the right-hand side. And what about TCs? We had 2 TCs. For Hera, the Viper is able to take on those 2. He's left in a very good spot. Notice the Viper's gold worker count over here is going to obviously be built around going for full monk production over here. It's just banking on it. It doesn't have a military of its own. It's just going to be banking on converted units. And so far, it's actually worked out pretty well. Here has an 18 militaries on the Viper. They are switching bases right now. They are the Viper's on the left-hand side, now Hera's on the right-hand side, and I am very tempted to switch the player's position in the scoreboard, but we are just going to leave it as is. And there we go, that's another castle down the ground, right? And this TC is going up, is going down next. Yeah, both trebuchets can reach it. Here we go. Another TC is coming out for Hera, and so far, the Viper's been able to gain more and more ground. He's gonna start making a play for Eagles right now, and this is huge. Without TCs, for Hera to garrison his villagers then Eagle Warriors are going to dominate, of course, and we see the quick walls coming out for the Viper over there as Hera deletes the barracks over there, trying to get to the trebuchets. We're gonna see one trebuchet going down, two trebuchets going down, yes sir. We're gonna see a third trebuchet going down, yes, but that's a lot of conversions coming up in favor of the Viper. Still going to be enough for Hera to push the red player away. Without the trebuchets over there anymore, the Viper won't be able to take on the fortifications anymore, and he tried to go for the quick wall. Couldn't quite connect it though. Yeah, now the Viper's just trying to shuffle his monks around with the castle. But it seems like Hera finally finds a breath of fresh air over here. Finally finds it. Is gonna be able to start getting the raids going, and now he's got enough military units that it doesn't matter if the Viper converts with all the monks that he's going for right now. Hera will still have more light cavalry out. And he'll still be able to keep on putting more pressure. So now the Viper's trying to make a play for pikeman. He'll never get to the Imperial Age. He doesn't need to. He just needs to overwhelm the Viper. He's got 133 villagers, right? He can go for however many military units he wants to go for, and the Viper can only rely on conversions. And it got very, very close. It got dangerously close to the Viper actually taking this game. Now, to be fair, Hera's not won this one yet. I'm just saying that he survived longer, and he's looking good. But he managed to survive from the Viper almost taking it earlier. There's definitely a way for the Viper to still win this one. Especially now with the pikemen over here. But definitely Hera's got the lead over here when it comes to military, right? He's getting to 180 population very soon compared to 60 for the Viper. And Hera's got, right now, more light cavalry than the Viper's got villagers. And monks combined very soon. Yeah. So here comes Hera. He doesn't care about the engagement over here being cost effective. And the Viper are targeting the button! What is going on with the Viper? Misclick! And calls the GG over here. Hera ends up clearing everything up and gets the first point in the series. Game number 5, it's going to be 4-1. Favoring the Viper still, but Hera's with one game, guys. It's not over. It's not over. We already stated this before. Every game from game 5 onwards is going to be match point because of Viper score. But Hera was able to take one over here. And we know that he's not done for just yet. There's a lot left where that came from, I would assume. And Hera ends up getting a better KD ratio. We were expecting nothing differently than this for the Canadian player, of course. He does end up getting completely clapped for conversions, obviously. But very good KD in the end, especially getting about 78 extra units. Does kind of compensate for losing, what is that, 44, right? 44 units. It's not bad. The hash is called by the Viper, yes. And we'll see for economy, a stronger economy for Hera. This shouldn't really surprise anybody. A higher worker count as well. And the APM was actually higher for Hera this game, despite how insane the Viper looked at times. Hera takes game number 5, and we'll have a 6th game, which will probably be a given. Probably a lot of people would have expected this to at the very least have 6 games, right? This series before the series began, but after the first 4 games, I think a lot of people would probably have thought maybe not. And there we are, the Viper playing with Totters. It's gonna be facing Hera playing with Britons. For the blue player, we're gonna see first off a 50% wood discount on TC starting in the Castle Age. We'll see for Britons also 1 and 2 extra range and foot archer units in the Castle and Imperial Ages, except for skirmisher units. And for the team bonus, we also have for Britons 20% faster working archer ranges, and before I forget, they have 25% faster working herdables, shepherds rather. On the left hand side, we'll see that the Viper is playing with Totters, which are an incredible civilization. First off, they're going to get free Flambering and free Parthen Tactics. In addition to that, Totters will also have 25% higher attack against enemy units when fighting from a higher elevation, and this is without taking into account the regular run-of-the-mill hail advantage, right? So it's going to be on top of that. Besides that, we see for Totters also 50% extra food they can collect from the herdables, and for each TC that they build, they will get 2 sheep spawning underneath it. While for the team bonus, finally, they get 2 extra line of sight on Cowardly Archer line units. Now, I think that's everything. Hopefully, I did not forget anything. Want to ask an opinion on Hera's home map arena? Just to have a curious perspective. Viper demolishes Hera on Black Forest. Hera knows Hideout isn't his map. He needs a close one, so he got the arena. It's desperation. Ah. That certainly seems to make sense.
Ready.
Hideout isn't his map. Honestly, I don't know. Probably what. Oh, my lord, Viper! Come on, man. This is the difference between 2K7 and 2K6. You see. The Viper, the pleb he is, lost a villager to the boar, while Hera, quite clearly being the higher level player, will be able to lure the boar without any issues. There you go. Big difference. 2K7, guys. Won't be able to get there until you're able to lure your boars properly. So yeah, I guess it's the least worst option for him. Interesting. I probably would prefer Hideout for Hera, but I don't know. Junso probably knows better. Militia's coming over from the Viper. Militia's coming over from Hera as well. The player's going for counter Trush. Show how he died, the villager. We saw it. I can show it to you again if you want in a moment, but after we see the stabilizing. Okay, there we go. Doesn't seem like the villagers are taking any more damage anymore. Just the deer over there are going to get taken down. Meanwhile, up in the north, the Viper's going for just the 2 militias though. This is the very interesting. There we are, a very interesting push over here that we saw popularized starting King of the Desert 4 last year. Players going for the double militia rush. Have become quite common. So yeah, now the game has stabilized. Let's take a look at the villager going down for the Viper. If you want, you can take a look at it in slow motion even. Check this out. Completely forgot about this. Was probably paying attention elsewhere. And too late. Yeah, I tried to get the wall up. Couldn't do it. There we go. Let's try to catch up. Man, that is a lot of turkeys though.
Mandatum. Ready.
There we go, up in the north. Hera's getting the walls up. Does he know that this is connected to the edge? We have seen so many times something like this be so game-changing because the players don't scout. Hera doesn't know that that is not connected to the edge, so he needs to actually scout over there. It doesn't seem like we are going to see any extra units go down, right? Just at the air? Yeah. Okay, so we can try to catch up by having rewinded. We fell behind a little bit, but just a few seconds, so it's okay. We'll be able to catch up in a moment. Nice villager. Oh, he almost gets the villager over there, but Hera doesn't want to commit. He knows the TC is somewhere close over there, so he's going to disengage, but yeah. Good disruption over here in any case. Village is here for Hera and the Viper. Well, there's a pause. Pause by the Viper or by Hera? By the Viper.
Yes.
Brayton?
Yay.
But yeah, it's gonna be in the village a little bit later. And let me take a look at the red player's point of view to see if he knows about this. He doesn't really know about the opening up in the north. He's been roaming around with the militias on the back of Hera's base without being able to do too much yet.
Yay. Ready. Mandatum. Brayton. Yay.
There we go.
Ready.
The militias might be able to get a village down over there. He's gonna try. He's gotta be careful. He cannot really body block the villager with the scout because it's too low HP. So in the end, yeah, Viper won't be able to get a village down. Now Hera brought a fourth militia, now men at arms, forward against the Viper, and the Viper's playing for the castle age, guys. It's gonna be on his way very soon. Meanwhile, Hera spent a lot of resources and time, villager working time, trying to get a huge walls up. At the very least, he realizes about the opening up in the north, because if he was still just hoping this was going to be connected and it stayed open and then the Viper got to the castle age, that could have been really bad. However, it's still very much open on the right hand side for the bull player, so he needs to wall himself up over here. And we'll take a look at the map in a moment. Let me get some water. And as we see the Viper click out to the castle age, let's take a look at the map for both these guys and see what it is that they are going to have access to. Starting with a red player over here, he's going up to the castle age, but he's got this gold kind of exposed, this stone kind of exposed, not exposed in the sense that they are super far away, but they are just not secured yet. Ideally, we would want to see the Viper go for something like this, walls from there to there, and walls from here to here, and just wall towards the TC, right? Like this, and it will be actually cheaper than what he's going for. He will be able to secure this, he will be able to secure the wood line almost completely as well, secure this gold, secure the stone. He's not going for it though. See more Minotaurs coming up from Hera. And then on the right hand side, the bull player, well, we saw he was going for a massive wall out towards the north corner, right? And he's already walled off over there. He's going for this. And he's going to end up walling himself up, which means he's going to have 2 wood lines secured. He's going to have the berries, gold, stone, and more than one for each as well. 2 golds, 2 stones, 2 berries, and 2 wood lines. This is really good for Hera if he's able to actually secure himself. The Viper, though, is only 5 seconds away from the castle age. He's about to finish researching. He's just finished researching bloodlines. And he's got some gold miners over here on the back still. Is going for a second TC and knights. The one knight and then step lancers, though. Notice the army composition over here from the Viper. And Hera's coming in right there, trying to just dive in. And he won't really be able to do too much. And man, that is a lot of damage. Hera's going to lose a lot of the units over here. The Minotaurs are going down. The archers are going down. The TC over there is doing so much damage. And this knight might end up getting cleaned up over here in the end. But Hera doesn't really have too much left to work with regardless. You have the Step Lancer over there with its one range, sniping the archer right off. And the Minotaurs over here won't be faring any better. And this is actually really interesting because the Step Lancers, they get one range. The Minotaurs cannot immediately attack back. If they turn around, they actually have to walk a little bit before they get to the Step Lancer to finally attack them. So it's It's actually a little bit of a safer unit for the Viper to clean up the army from Hera with, interestingly enough. I'm really sure that's the reason why he went for it. But in the end, it's what he gets to work with. Hera's going up to the Castle Age. He is 7 workers ahead compared to the Viper right now, which is remarkable, and is going to actually comprise a larger amount of TC working time compared to what it takes for you to research the next stage. So Hera would actually still be ahead in worker count if the Viper had stuck to only 1 TC right now, but we have 2 TCs for the Viper. Is going for the 3rd TC, and he should be able to catch up and start pulling ahead in villager count compared to Hera. Viper wanted to meme on Hera and Sakatra. Now he's paying for it. Pretty soon we're gonna have crossbows for Hera, by the way. Extra range. Extra attack once he goes for crossman and balking arrow. Still about 35 seconds before he gets there. We take a look at the Viper. He knew some units might be roaming around, so he spots the archers over here. Well done. Won't be able to do much of anything over there yet though, but at the very least is able to fend Hera's units off until Hera gets the upgrades he needs.
Ready. Mandatum. Yay. Ready.
Here we go, Step Lancers are coming in. The Crossman upgrade and blocking arrow upgrades are coming in for the Viper. Second, 3rd TCs on the way for Hera as well, but the Viper's been able to catch up in worker count already and should be able to start pulling ahead a little bit. He's got heavy plow. Hera's got only horse collar right now. We have no wheelbarrow coming up for anybody just yet. Heavy plows coming in now for Hera too. It made sense that the Viper had it earlier. He had to go for the farms a little bit sooner, but he's fine. He's still banking on the sheep over here for access to food. And the Viper's base is very tiny though. That is one thing that I really like for Hera. He's got so much room to work with back home. But the Viper is the smallest base ever.
Mandatum. Yay. Ready. Mandatum.
There we go, more Step Lancers coming out for the Viper. No defense to Siege Workshop though. With a single manual, he will be able to
Ready.
ward these units off from Hera. Yeah, he's just trying to make the Step Lancers work. I mean, he has already gone for them. Probably would prefer for the Viper to go forward and try to break through. Sneak in and try to get some ratings going, but he's gonna try. He's gonna try to go for it. There we go. Here comes the Viper. He did manage to breach through though. I didn't think Hera was going to let him. Yeah, we might see a few villages go down over here. Viper's getting housed. Oh, Hera's getting housed right now as well. And the game has stabilized. It's unlikely Viper will be able to do too much damage over here. The quick walls coming out from Hera are beautiful. And we're going to see the conversions connect over here. Or the one conversion connect over there. But still a villager goes down though. Just the one. Yeah, and these Step Lancers will get cleaned up. It's fine. Hera's fine over there. Now he's got his counter push coming. And finally the Viper's going for a defensive siege workshop. He's been collecting stone though. He'll be able to go for a castle very soon in Hera. Hera's collecting stone too. So we could see Keshix come out from the Viper very soon. Hola, hola, hola! Chef de Hierro! How's it going? Bienvenido again. Kind of sad that I tuned in because of the result. I know that you don't like to see Viper dominating, I know. But Hera has been able to take game number 5, and he's far from dead in game number 6 over here.
Yay.
Oh, because of the spoilers? Is that so?
Ready.
Oh, you wanted to watch the semifinals first? I was hoping to never find who wins, right?
Yay. Ready. Mandatum. Yay. Ready. Yay. Mandatum. Ready. Yay.
Overall, yeah, the game is pretty uneventful right now. Castle's coming forward for Hera. The Viper already managed to get a castle up back home. We were expecting both these guys to go for castles in a moment. And they did. And from this point onwards, it's going to be basically a race to the Imperial Age. We know that. The moment Hera realizes about the castle from the Viper, is going to try to prioritize the Imperial Age. We're going to see the same thing being the case for the Viper as well. Though I'm not really sure the Viper will actually realize about the castle from Hera at all. We'll see. Typical Viper gameplay, full greeting to domination. And sometimes, well, I guess you can make a case for it, right? Because in the previous one, he actually tried to go for the opposite, full pressure, no economy, and he got kind of clapped. This time around, he's just going to stick to his guns, perhaps. Gather economy time so far is favoring Hera, despite the fact that the Viper was the first one to go for extra TCs. He was also at a little bit of a villager disadvantage compared to Hera when he got the extra TCs up anyway, so it makes sense. It's not a huge lead, it's only about 33 extra minutes for Hera, which she represents about 600 extra resources or so. He will be the first one to go up to the Imperial Age. Doesn't know about the castle from the Viper. He knows, yes. So he's going up to the Imperial Age and the Viper. The Viper's going for Chain Bar and Armor. He's going for more Step Lancers. No, Keshiks. He's going for Keshiks, actually. And he's got some on the back of Hera's castle. He spots this one now. And he's gotta think about going out to the Imperial Age himself. Because otherwise, this puts him in a very awkward spot. There we go. I'm more here for you than seeing these two play for the 9,000th time. And we have had all the classic matchups in this tournament. I was saying earlier, this knockout stage kind of reminded me of the Mortal Kombat tower a little bit. Where the Viper is kind of ascending, right? And he took on Mr. Yo, the quarterfinal. Took on Viri in the semifinal. Now he's taking on Hera in the grand final. And it's like he's taking on all the top dogs over here one at a time. But Hera's putting up a fight, of course. He's got a second castle coming up, and he's going to be the first one to the Imperial Age by a lot. The Viper only now going for wheelbarrow as well. And Hera's looking good. The Viper's got a counter raid coming out. The Keshiks over here shouldn't really struggle to breach through the palisade walls. And Hera's not really taking too much time or too many precautions over here to try and prevent any castle age units from coming in, so. So there we are. Fantastic, some villagers going down over here. The Viper, he's got the raids going on the left-hand side as well, and it doesn't seem like Hera realized about this. So far, the Viper with ease has managed to get 4 villagers. Now Hera realizes, garrisons the villagers, and as he gets to the Imperial Age, we're gonna see the cherry shade come out right now, so. All players gonna start putting pressure on the Viper's corner. Here we are. Good defense for the Viper over here. Is not going to suffice. That is not the most cost-effective trade for Hera that I have seen. But he still retains momentum over here, so it's not the worst. Monk's going down. Yeah, that was really bad for Hera, but it's still going to be enough, though, for him to take game number 6. Guys, we are getting closer to a full set with the Viper losing game number 6 against Hera. Conceding 2 games in a row over here as the Canadians starting to close the gap. And the Viper's got Arena for game number 7 before we see Scandinavia and Arabia for games number 8 and 9 if we get there respectively. So let's go through the achievements one more time over here before hopping back out. We'll see a very close to 4-3 KD ratio favoring the Viper, although the economy was so much stronger for Hera that it did not really matter too much. And then, worker count, a little bit better for Hera towards the end of the game, but it was better for the Viper, I would say. It's actually kind of better for Hera, right? Because the lead that you can see by the time the Viper got to the Castle Age, the lead in villager count for Hera was substantially larger compared to the lead for Vipers when he got a villager lead after Hera got to the Castle Age, right? And then Hera was started to pick up in the end. Here we are. The next game is already here, Arena. We're gonna have the Viper playing the red color up in the north. Meanwhile, Hera is playing with Bohemians down the south, towards the southeast. And this is Bohemians versus Bengalis. I was expecting Bohemians for sure. I wasn't really sure the Viper was going to go for Bengalis, and he does go for it. But I'm not convinced about the civilization of this matchup yet. We'll see. What do we get for both these guys? Starting with Hera, first off, he's gonna get with Bohemians a bunch of bonuses, starting with free mining camp upgrades. On top of that, we'll see for Hera also with Bohemians 25% extra bonus damage from spear line units, right? So spearmen, pikemen, and halberdier, they deal extra bonus damage. In addition to that, we also see for Bohemians sanctity and fervor affecting villagers, as well as a 100 wood discount on blacksmiths and universities. And then on top of that, they're gonna get access to chemistry and hand cannoneer in the Castle Age. For the team bonus, we'll see that Bohemians also get 80% faster working markets, which is not really relevant in 1v1 situation for the most part. And the Viper with Bengalis will have 2 additional villagers for, you know, coming out from the TC for each age that he researches. We're gonna see on top of that, that the elephant units get 25% less bonus damage, and they have a little bit of conversion resistance. We talked about the ship regeneration, HP regeneration earlier when potentially speculating about this being utilized for something like either migration, perhaps, or maybe Scandinavia. But it's going to be utilized over here, and it's not really going to be a bonus that matters too much. Monks, however, get +3/+3 armor, and this is huge. That might just be the reason behind Viper going for the civilization full stop. The team bonus is going to be precisely for a team game for Viper civilization, so that's about it. Here we are. The map generation starting with Hera. We'll see for the bull player then. The main gold and the secondary gold forward. But these are too far away from the walls to potentially get scouted by an enemy scout. Like for instance, if we saw the Viper, right, go on a straight line over here. Like so. Potentially over here. He wouldn't really have enough vision with the scout to realize about any of these buildings. Any of these resources, sorry. So he wouldn't see this one. He wouldn't see this one too far away. And taking a look at the map generation from the Viper instead. We'll see that he's got actually both these goals on the back, which is fantastic. Then he's got the stone forward. And this one, I don't think it's going to be visible either from beyond the walls. So it's fine. And then both players will have their secondary, the remaining secondary golds and secondary stones outside as well. But overall, it's looking pretty alright. Both these players are going to have pretty comparable map generations, I would say, for the most part. The only downside, of course, for Hera would be if the Viper was to come forward for a castle drop. And just by luck, for instance, we saw like the red player drop a castle, perhaps around here or something. Maybe denying both the stone and the gold, right? Or if we could see potentially a castle come up over here instead. And then deny this and this as well. Potentially making it very difficult for Hera to take advantage of this one. Can we start game 8 already? Oh, so you're still making the calls at the very beginning? I thought you'd know better by now.
Hi.
But yeah, Hera's got an incredible civilization over here for sure. But it's Hera. You know, we saw Leary yesterday with Turks versus Bohemians go down. What are Bengalis gonna do here? That is not the question. Bengalis are not playing this game. The Viper is playing this game. What is the Viper going to do here? Hera is playing with Bohemians over here, but we can see something completely unexpected come up for the players. I am liking Hera's civilization. Yes, I think it's a better matchup compared to the Viper. That doesn't mean that the players are going to play this the predictable way. For the time being, though, the players are just going after the castle age, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit more to see. For Scholar, we have double bit X already for Hera. I only just realized Hera's doing his build over there. 23 plus 2 light cavalry. Alright. Don't have a barracks yet, but he still has time to go for it. And he's got 2 villagers over here, so it definitely will make sense. He's got the villagers already at hand to go for the barracks and the stable. Okay, never mind. And up in the north, the Viper. Yeah, the Viper's getting to the castle age a little bit earlier compared to Hera.
Hey.
Double monastery is coming in for the Viper. +3/+3 armor. And these guys and Hera. Hera's getting to the castle age right now and going for extra TCs right away. He's gonna play this for the late game. And for full economy, while the Viper's gonna be the one putting pressure. Probably. At this point in time, nobody's got really map control. And the Viper, well, he's gonna want to collect the relics first, I would assume. He's got a second TC coming out right now as well. Austin is going to get a massive payout. The Viper can do something with those chunky monks. Alright, alright. Nice. I completely forgot to keep track of the predictions, so I'm not really sure what it closed like, but yeah, so far not too much going on. The Viper is going for Sanctity. This is going to have extra armor on top of extra HP. Yeah, and Hera's just gonna play for economy over here towards going up to the Imperial Age and try to play this one for the late game. Well, the Viper, on the other hand, well, he's got an extra TC coming up, so he's going for monks already and collecting 2 relics, but it doesn't seem like he'll be able to get much of a smush going over here. Yeah, no siege workshop, so... Oh, conversion coming up. Beautiful. So it seems like both these players will just play for economy, with the difference that the Viper delayed the extra TCs because of the relic collection. But this means that most likely we won't really see too much action until we get to the Imperial Age. Well, we already took a look at the map generation. The Viper's getting all 5 relics over here, thankfully. Both players trying to prioritize economy over here is going to result in both these guys going out to the Imperial Age pretty soon, right? Should be the case. And the Viper's not going for any extra monks. So no chunky monks over here. We have some. That's about it. Good read from Hera. He knows he has the late game covered. Isn't even bothering to contest the relics. He wants a 35 to 55 minute win. Good judgment. We'll see. Monks coming out now for Hera. A little too late, man. The 4th relic's coming in for the Viper. We're gonna see down the south. Oh, this is the 4th relic actually coming in for the Viper, and we're gonna see him try to go after the 5th one. We'll see the conversion coming up. Hera knows he doesn't stand a chance against the monk, so he bails. The Viper will secure this one. He will secure the 5th relic, and Hera might as well just cancel the monk right now. And he did. He canceled the monk. He's going for Fervor instead. It's good. He still needs the monastery for Fervor so that the villagers get faster movement speed. Ideally, he'll want to go for Sanctity as well, though that's not really going to change much of anything unless the Viper was putting pressure and he had the possibility to raid, of course. So the game is stabilizing here. We see willpower coming out for Hera, the Viper. Not so much just yet. Interestingly enough, though, there's a 4 TC coming out for the Viper who's managed to keep up with worker count despite the fact that Hera was the first one going for the extra TCs. So far, gather economy time is favoring the Viper by quite a lot. Not particularly close over there, and he is going for a 4 siege workshop, so it's gonna try to smush. He's gonna try to smush a little bit, but not too much. I would imagine he's probably gonna go for 1-2 manas over here, not much more than that. Or will he? It shouldn't take too much longer for now for both these players to go up to the Imperial Age, so trying to commit to this kind of Castle Age push at this stage seems kind of awkward. So he's going for the Armor Elephant. Viper got redemption yet? The Viper? I don't think it did. Just got Sanctity. Alright, the conversion's coming up over here for both these guys. Then it connects for Hera, so he gets the scout over here. Oh! And the Viper converts the high HP scout as well, so he will end up cleaning this up. But that was still better for Hera, though. He ends up taking the monk over here. Smashing a save with a gold bonus and heresy? Yep, sure. Remember, he's smashing Hera, not the civilization. It's all going to depend on what Hera goes for. What you're saying is correct on paper, for sure. Having heresy, which is pretty pricey to go for, but you're talking about the gold bonus. They get gold mining upgrade for free. Heresy, once you research it, means that you're going to come out on top in a monk war. But the Viper is not going to prevent that from trying. He's coming in already. He's got some of the monks over here. Realized about the castle. The castle over here from Hera is still not with enough range to prevent the units from coming in. So we see the conversions coming up, and there's a magnet on the way. And even with, I think with Balkinaro he prevents, yeah, the Viper from coming in, but he's only now getting fletching, and the magnet is coming in. It's gonna be on the way for both these players very, very soon. Why even allow them to draft? The saves are entirely irrelevant. Come on, Baido. You know better than this. It's not the extreme. Of course the civilizations are relevant. But it's more important what the players do with them. You want to have a civilization with options, but if you're unable to take advantage of the options, what good is that? Civilizations are just as relevant as the players. There we go. Hera is able to hold on just fine. The Viper going up to the Imperial Age a little bit earlier. Good castle. Estampida en el Gran Chaco. What? We don't have elephants in Chaco. Say on paper, if Hera plays this right, he should have an advantage for sure. We have some Rathas coming out now for the Viper as well. Not really committed to much of anything. He's gone for 4 monks, 2 Rathas. He's getting Balkan Arrow. Yeah, and Ballistics is on the way. He's got a single castle, so he can't really go for too many Rathas. He's got to be careful over here, remember. 25% higher bonus damage for Hera's Spearline units. Fervor is coming up as well as Redemption for the Viper. Let's see, he's getting to the Imperial Age. There we go, we need to see for a few more upgrades. If the Viper's hoping to hold on against Hera's Bombard Cannons, as Hera's finishing researching chemistry a little bit sooner before getting to the Imperial Age, he'll be able to go for Bombard Cannons right away, potentially Huvnitsa, we know how it goes. And the Viper, well, the Viper's got Scale, Bard, and Armor on the way. Interestingly enough. Even though he doesn't really have any stables. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the Viper's going for, honestly, have no idea. And the church is already on the way for the Viper, there we go. Block printing, absolutely necessary. Extra range for the monks, illumination as well. Fantastic. Meanwhile, Hera's only now starting to go for the upgrades, so he's got Sanctity on the way. And here comes the Viper. He cannot really target this just yet. He's trying to get beyond the range of a castle. Is he? Not so much. Not so much, and I think the Viper wouldn't be able to target the TC over here from anywhere without taking damage from the castle in the end. So it's actually healing. The chunker's up. Are we going to get trash monks against chunky monks? Just kind of stuff. Let's see. Here come the villagers taking the elephants down. We'll see potential conversions coming up over here. Not quite. He's just healing the elephants up with the monks and trying to use the Rathas to protect the siege. To protect the elephants. There is a second castle that's been on the way for the Viper for quite a while, but he's taking some time. It's taking some time to get it up, and even if he gets it, it doesn't seem to me like he's gonna necessarily commit to the Rathas production. Now we see the conversions coming up, and Hera's going to lose a villager over there. We don't have theocracy though, so the Viper gets completely pushed away over here. Wait, no, we do have theocracy. No, we don't. He converted a single villager with 2 monks. That is not good. He's getting pushed away now by the skirmishers and the halberdier, of course. We'll take the elephant down. So as the Viper was going forward, now he's gonna have to go back. He's got plate, bard, and armor on the way, and I'm still wondering what that is going to be for. He's got no stables at all. And these guys get range armor. They get arch armor. So he needs to go for ring arch armor. So there we go, he's got it there. Hero starts going now for Bombard Cannons. 1 TC crumbles though for the Bull player and the Viper. The Viper is definitely the one over here putting pressure. Hero's having a little bit of a housing situation over here. 170 population. Here come the trebuchets though. The Viper's going after the castle next. You see? He's got a lot of skirmishers. Now he's got Theocracy on the way. The Viper's coming forward once again. He's gonna try and go after the castle. Meanwhile, Hera's got the 1 bombard cannon. He's gotta be careful. If he plays his cards right, should be able to take the trebuchets down over here. Meanwhile, the Viper's defending it with skirmishers. He's got 1 extra Ratha coming out. Once again, doesn't seem like the Viper is necessarily committing too much of anything over here. 3rd cast on the way for the Viper on the right-hand side, though. Potentially pushing Hera away from the zone. And that is a lot of skirmishers over here. From the Viper and from Hera, and the Viper is gonna use the monks over there to try and zone the bombard cannons out, which means Castle's still taking a lot of damage over here. Might actually go down. The next volley from the trebuchets is going to take the castle down. As Hera loses the castle, Viper needs to pack up and get out of here. He doesn't have the monks anymore to keep on zoning the bombard cannons out. And Hera, what does he do? He goes for an instant castle right next to where the first one crumbled. And the Viper, 200 population, Hera 163. We have another trebuchet for the Viper already. 3 trebuchets, got 1 on the right hand side. Champions, we have supplies coming in for Hera, so he seems to be thinking of going for militia line units. He went for, what was it, Lone Swords? I think it was Lone Swords, right? Or was it Men-at-Arms? One of the two. Still has a long ways to go, of course, before he gets to any strong units. There we go, Iron Casting's coming up. And so far, the Viper is definitely the one putting the most pressure. He's got the trebuchets on the left-hand side, taking the castle down again on the same position. Nothing for Hera to do over here. He doesn't have Huvnitsa. The bombard cannons over here do not seem to be enough. And the Viper is making a play for monks over here. And the interesting thing is the Viper's been losing a lot of monks trying to zone the bombard cannons out, but zoning these units out is what allowed him to get the fortifications down. So yes, the Viper's been taking a lot of losses over here. The monks are going down. Yes, he's not getting the conversions. Of course he's not. But he's finding the space that he needs. He's buying himself the space that he needs for the trebuchets to work. Just by threatening the conversions. And Hera's been in a world of pain, guys. That is another TC going down. The Viper still putting pressure over here. He's gotta be careful. He's gotta get out of here once again. The whole point. The monks over here to try and convert the bombard cannon, so he will keep on denying that unit for Hera. Alright. Viper's getting pushed back. This might be the time for Hera to start going for the counter push. He's got 200 swordsmen, no champion yet. 200 swordsmen nonetheless, and now the Viper. The Viper is going for Mahayana. This is an upgrade that's going to make his villagers take 10% less population space. So he is on 140 villagers. That's going to take only 126 space, which puts him in a very good spot because he can go for extra military units while still retaining a very strong economy, or a stronger economy in the same amount of military. Like cavalry coming in from the Viper though, going right after the bombard cannons. The bombard cannons started going down over here. Hera's going for the champion. It's taking such a long time for him to complete the transition. The Viper. Bringing the heat. He's gonna go for chunkers though. We have elephants on the way. Elite battle elephants. Beautiful. Here's kind of pushing back though. There's Halberdier. He's got the skirmishers. And we don't have too many Halberdier for Hera yet though. 13, mainly out of position. We'll see. And here comes the Viper. Right against the skirmishers, he's going for it, yes, with the chunkers. Remember, these guys, they have area of effect range, so they can actually take on more than one skirmisher at a time. They can do damage. But Hera's pushing back, Hera's pushing back. The Viper's dropping. 170 population save for both players. And it took some time. But Hera is finally pushing the Viper back. Viper's trying to get the raids going, he cannot really do it. And the skirmishers now. Surviving for Hera, for the Viper rather. Well, now taking the skirmishers, or the skirmishers and the Halberdier down for Hera, but it's going to take some time. The skirmishers from the Viper are going to take longer to take down the Halberdier from Hera as well. And the moment that Hera closes the gap, these skirmishers kind of become useless. So we see conversions coming out. That is not the best for the Viper. Converting skirmishers. Just trying to get the numbers here. And yeah, these elephants are getting completely cleaned up. There you go, Cherishes get pushed back, and now the Viper takes a Cherishi down with skirmishers. That is good. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all kind of move from the Viper. Hera's got 3,000 gold, so I don't think it's going to be hurting over losing one Trebuchet. And what's most important, the Viper has managed to retain most of his map control, which means that Hera is effectively out of gold. He's got enough to go for 120 champions or so, and then he's out of it. So the Viper survives over here. Is gonna be able to significantly outsustain military production against Hera, right? He's got a castle on the right hand side. He's been able to collect from this. He's got this one still available, both these tiles. So it's a game of surviving right now for the Viper. He should know there is no way that Hera is gonna be able to sustain this kind of push, and Hera indeed has only 10 champions left, and then he gets pushed back. So far, it's worked out pretty well. Pretty dead even though. For the time being, that is, of course, Hera is eventually going to run out of resources. The Viper. Also, the player with 5 relics won't be hurting for gold anytime soon. Yeah, the elephants are not the most cost-effective meat shield that I have seen for sure. But once again, the Viper just needs to sustain his position over here, and then eventually Hera is going to kind of run out of options. This is extremely smart from the Viper, by the way. Just playing for gold control over here against a gold civilization, right? Yeah, Bohemians get a gold bonus. What are they going to do with it now? The Viper. He's got... Whoa! We have Siege Elephant on the way. Still has plenty of resources. So we have even more Elephantos coming out, guys. We have more Chunkers on the way. The Viper's starting to push Hera back into his base once again. And now Hera is going for... Yeah. He's going for... what is a Hussite reforms? Yes, Hussite reforms, which is going to remove the gold cost of monastery upgrades in monks and replace it for wood, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you could potentially make a play for monks, but it's really, what is that going to give him? The Rathas over here, going back towards the castle. Good job. Food, there we go. Thank you, Thorwin. We might see a castle go down for the Viper. This is going to give Hera a little bit of gold over here to keep on collecting from, but it's just going to be 1,000. Meanwhile, the Viper still has over here 1,100. He's got all 5 relics as well. And there we go. Trebuchets are going down now for Hera. 2 trebuchets down the gutter. We're gonna see a 3rd trebuchet going down over there. Not quite. But still very, very expensive losses over here. That's 800 resources down the drain for the blue player. Meanwhile, the Viper is gonna keep on putting pressure, ramping it up, bringing all the skirmishers over here to the south. He's got a good amount of monks over here still left to work with. And Hera, he went for Hazard reforms, but he did not really do anything with it. At the very least so far. That pushing the Viper away from this goal, or at the very least taking the castle down and potentially getting access to this if he can push the military from the Viper again back. But now the Viper and 200 population, a lot of skirmishes over here, taking the trebuchets down over there as well. Sacrificing the elephants for it, but now Hera cannot afford to go for anymore. He's got just this one left. And there we are. The Viper is looking strong, guys. He's getting momentum. The Viper is picking up steam. Is he doing this? I think the Viper is doing this. Certainly seems to be the case. Castle is crumbling now. Hera's gonna be left on only 1 fortification over here, which is less than half HP anyway. And there's a pause. There is a pause. What's going on? This is not the time to pause again, man. Hera might need a breather here.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're gonna continue going, but this is getting out of hand. 150 population for Hera, and the Viper is taking the castle down. The military for Hera is non-existent compared to Viper's numbers, that is. It's not particularly close. We have Halberdier taking on the elephants over here. Doesn't seem to matter too much. And there we go! Hera calls the GG. Well played, congratulations! And the Viper, with a win in Arena, with Bengalis against Bohemians, crowns himself the Warlord by taking Hera down with a final score of 5-2. Let's go right into the achievements. Before jumping back out and taking a look at the interview. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there is no interview. You got to watch this one on Twitch or on Mem's YouTube channel, of course, but hope you enjoyed regardless. Better KD for the Viper in the end. For economy, a stronger economy for the Viper as well. Society, we have a higher villager max count for the Viper too. And basically everything just favor the Viper over here. Well done. Well done. Viper, the champion of Warlords.